Please take the time to visit podsurvey.com/peasants to complete a short 21-question survey. Participants in the survey will be entered into a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. The survey can be taken multiple times, so feel free to visit back each month for your chance to enter the drawing. Please help support the show by using our Amazon links located in the description anytime you purchase anything from Amazon. It's a great way to support the show while just going about your normal business shopping on Amazon.com. Also, check out our storefront for Drunken Peasants recommended merchandise. Patreon pledges of $5 or more will now receive 2 private shows each month. In addition to the private shows, Patreon pledges of $10 or more will receive the Drunken Peasants post show after each episode of the Drunken Peasants, Ben and Billy's monthly shitty movie review, and regular behind-the-scenes vlogs with Ben and Billy. Sign up anytime to catch the future shows as well as past content. If you want to catch the post shows but you're not a patron, click the join link below this video to become a member of the Drunken Peasants channel. In addition to each post show, you'll also get special badges and emojis that you can use in the Drunken Peasants live chat. Streamlabs will be open for the duration of each episode. Click the link below to send us a message. Donations $20 and above will be read out through text-to-speech and will require our immediate attention. All donations below $20 will be read at the end of each segment. Keep an eye out for our weekly Streamlabs goal, which if we meet, we will do an extra show the following week. If you find any content you'd like to see us cover on the show, send it to drunkenpeasantsinbox at gmail.com. All submissions will be reviewed for possible usage in a future episode. Click the Discord link in our description to join the Drunken Peasants Discord. Interact with other Drunken Peasants fans in text and voice chat, as well as the peasants themselves. Visit the Google Play Store and download the Drunken Peasants app to catch the audio version of the show while you're on the road. In addition to the app, the audio-only version of the show is also available through iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, and other audio platforms. That's all we have for now. Enjoy the show.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get with this.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on you, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
It's true. Sometimes I cry.
Lick my butthole, you laugh.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 695. And welcome to our Super Tuesday Extravaganza. Yes, Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday is today.
It's today. It's exciting because now we can just feel bullshit about whoever wins and then get screwed over in the convention.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be on the air until everything finishes up because there's still California, but we'll watch and see. Maybe someone will be called an early winner. We'll see, but I'll tell you what, I'm prepared to be disappointed, and I even have my goblet of beer tonight
to drown your sorrows.
Yes. I'm already looking at some of the results from the East Coast, and I'm not impressed at all. If you guys want to go on this journey with us tonight, I welcome you all. Please give us a like. Please make sure you're still subscribed. Oh, and also, everyone, I want to let you guys know on a little known secret. Coming up here on March 15th, Sunday, March 15th, mark your calendars. Because we've got something very special coming up for you here on the Drunken Peasants channel. A totally new show. Starting out here on the Drunken Peasants channel, March 15th. Don't miss it. You don't want to miss it.
Beware the Ides of March.
Yes.
Ooh.
If you catch my drift.
You don't want to miss it?
Yeah.
Did you mispronounce joint?
No.
Huh.
No. Huh. It's very cryptic, isn't it?
It's pretty cryptic.
You can't tell what I'm talking about. You have no idea.
I know what you're talking about.
You have no, you don't.
I know, yeah.
No,
I was told.
Oh, okay.
Joe Biden's going to be on the show.
Yes, our future president.
Yeah, Joe Biden will be the new host of Drunken Sundays. It's not true.
Don't miss it, guys.
But don't miss it either
And also
way.
Make sure you've joined the Discord. Make sure you're a member of the DP Discord also by that date. Just saying.
Yeah.
Everyone join the Discord. Link in the description. Please join the fucking Discord.
And also,
I'm warning you now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now so you don't have to do it later. So, I expect everyone watching right now that's not a member of the Discord to be in it now. Very soon.
Yeah.
Okay?
And also, I don't think I need to say this, but some of you might not know this. groom your genitals, and clip your fingernails.
Yeah, that's a big part of the show, too. What?
Oh.
Come on, dude.
What?
We got to leave some to the imagination.
Something to the imagination. Speaking of imagination, I heard Jeff Holiday liked a video on Twitter today, and it came up on your
I almost
timeline.
unfollowed him.
Yeah, Shani for Christ and Revelation News are
enjoying carnal relations with each other.
Yeah, on video and posting it to Twitter, where Jeffrey Holiday, young alcoholiday, is liking and not even retweeting, just liking, so it pops up on your timeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you know what? He replied.
He did a reply.
Replied.
What did he say? Was he just like,
No, he was conversing with them.
Oh, he's like,
and he tagged Pimp Monk, so Pimp Monk would have to look at it.
My God.
Yeah, like normally if I just see like big boobs or a big ass in my timeline, it'll say Billy the Fridge liked above it.
Yeah.
But this time it was Rev and Shani doing the nasty on my timeline with Jeff Holiday commenting under it.
I think that my support of e-girls is different than Jeff commenting.
Yeah, you would like to think that.
Jeff commenting on Rev and Shani can't be a good thing. Tagging Pimp Monk, that's nefarious. He's doing it just to mess with little Pimp Monk. Pimp Monk's not doing too well. They're taking away menthols.
He doesn't smoke menthols. He told you that.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's no flavored cigarettes in Europe. They killed that a couple of years ago. Yeah. Not like we care. Like, it wouldn't even make a difference. You know what? When you first met me, I smoked cigarettes a lot. Have you seen me smoke a cigarette in a long time?
No.
Dude, that's one habit that was really easy to kick for me.
That's good.
Because it grossed me out.
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish a whole cigarette anymore. It grossed me out.
That's really good.
Yeah. So the way it nauseated me superseded the like addiction.
Reverend left his shirt on. That was gross.
So PT Ham saw it.
Yeah, dude, you know the bottom of that shirt got a fucking slug trail all over it.
Oh, no, stop it. Molotov cocktail.
Oh, my God.
Burn that sumbitch.
Yeah.
Burn it.
Rev, next time wear like a fishnet tank top. I'm giving him ideas.
No, if he wears a fishnet tank top, there's going to be some critters caught in that fishnet. You're going to look at that thing, it's going to look like the TGI Fridays seafood night. It's not a good look. Yeah. Ugh.
All right.
Ugh.
Everyone,
Icky.
please like the stream. And I'll remind everyone later. We'll get into the show here. My apologies. All right? We're going to make this one of the best episodes ever if I fucking die trying. Oops, we're demonetized now. Whatever.
Oops. We're not going to try. I mean, die. Demonetized.
Should we go stream out front of the old folks' home where people are dying?
No, dude, I'm traveling to New York City. I have to be healthy.
You can't. I mean, you're not going to catch it from outside of it.
I don't want to bring any virus.
You were just talking about going there last night.
Yeah, that was before I realized the error of my ways. I can't cross-contaminate.
You never do that. That's
What?
how I know you're lying right now.
I can't cross-contaminate.
You never realize the error of your ways.
Of course I do.
No, you don't.
I'm a young genius.
You're not young or a genius. Two lies.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, look, he just automatically goes into that people's eyebrow mode when you do that. Yeah.
For the 250. Let's get to the motherfucking go.
All right. Here we go.
Yes.
He called me sir and got me so fuming angry.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right. This was just recent. CNN projects Joe Biden will win Virginia.
And CNN can now project that Joe Biden will win Virginia. 99 delegates at stake in Virginia. Joe Biden will win the Democratic presidential primary in Virginia. CNN can also now project that Bernie Sanders will win in Vermont. That's his home state. 16 delegates at stake. Bernie Sanders will win the Democratic presidential
I was saying to Billy earlier before the stream started that Bernie could be comfortable being the senator in Vermont, one of the senators in Vermont for the rest of his life. No one is going to come in and steal that from him.
What's really going on in Vermont?
What?
What's really happening in Vermont, though?
Vermont's probably the best state to live in New England.
In New England?
Right.
Rhode Island's nice.
No, it's not.
You don't like Rhode Island?
Dude, I don't want to hear about this fucking buffet again.
Oh, they got a really good
presidential primary in his home state of Vermont. Let's go to reporters who are covering these two contests.
And now Billy's thinking, how did he know I was going to talk about
that?
Science is joining us right now.
He's
over what's going to be Biden headquarters in California right now. Arlette, this is going to be very good news for the Biden team.
What the hell is?
Yeah, well,
why
it certainly is, and it
headquarters?
could be the first sign that Joe Biden has benefited from the past 72 hours after he emerged from South Carolina with a decisive victory and also picked up a key.
Look how excited they are on CNN that Joe Biden, anyone but Bernie wins. They're happy about it. I've been watching them bash Bernie literally ever since the primary started.
We're so happy. We're going to give the cute, young, enthusiastic woman the Biden projection, and then there's going to be like a Poindexter
from his
talking about
former
Bernie.
rivals as moderates are beginning, in some cases, to coalesce around Joe Biden.
Coalesce.
There we go.
And Biden also is trying to court African-American voters in Virginia. That is a key part of their strategy in Super Tuesday. We'll see how it turns out the rest of the night.
Biden will win in Virginia. Sanders will win in Vermont. Ryan Nobles is there. You're at Sanders headquarters. They must be happy.
Why are there like two guys putting up a stage at Biden headquarters, and there's like a whole rally of excited people at Bernie headquarters?
I mean, I try not to judge the way a rally looks because, you know, who knows when it starts? Who knows, like, the size of the venue?
Home state goes with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Wolf. This crowd, obviously all Vermonters that had the chance to vote for their
Okay, this is in his home state where everybody loves him. Like, I love Bernie. I hate Biden. But I don't know.
State senator today, very happy that he was able to win in Vermont.
I want to be honest about this.
There has to be a degree of disappointment in the Sanders campaign that he was not able to win in Virginia. This was a state that Sanders spent a lot of time in, especially in the closing.
It's the black vote. That's a big part of it. Biden has the black vote. They recognize him as the guy from Obama.
Is that the
analysis
people here?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of voters, most voters are not informed. Like, regardless of your demographic. Most voters, they want to vote. They want to do their voting, their right to vote, but they don't really follow it, as closely as some people do. And they go with the name they recognize. If their recognition of the name is positive, then they go with it. And that's why Biden, go look at what Biden talks about. Oh, when I was with Barack Obama, when me and Barack Obama did this, I like Barack, like he always uses his name and he knows that that's what he's running on. Even though Joe Biden was a politician forever before he even met Obama, because there's a decent age difference there. He'll run on, I was Obama's vice president for 8 years. That's what he's running on. It's like nothing he did before that even mattered. By the way, when he was a lot younger, I think in his 30s, he spoke in defense of segregation.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Yeah.
Bernie was like out there getting arrested in the 60s to help advance segregation or to take away segregation.
Right.
And he was getting arrested in the 60s for it. And in the 70s, Biden was like, we got to keep them separated. Hey!
So Obama brought out record numbers of black voters. A part of the demographic that had never voted before. He brought them out to vote. And a lot of them still vote just from that initial experience that got them into it. And that's why Biden has the black vote. And in a place like Virginia that has a large, and South Carolina, any place that has a large African-American population Biden will probably win.
Are you sure it's about the African American
I
population?
mean, not 100%, but a good chunk.
It's not about the locations where being extra touchy with your niece might be a big sell.
Well, there is, what was it, Alabama or Mississippi?
Yeah, Alabama. I really like the way he hugs those little girls. I'm going to vote for that president. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry to everybody.
Let's take a look at this. Biden has totally won Virginia. 99% reporting. 53% of the vote. Bernie almost has a quarter of it, so Bernie gets some delegates, but Biden 60 delegates. That's a lot. From there, let's take Vermont. Bernie Sanders has already won.
Yeah, which is 16 delegates. He gets 8 of them.
Yeah, so Biden still walks away with some, and it's not a lot of delegates because it's a low populated state.
That's 11 delegates there that they're available for 16.
Yeah.
So is it going to go up when the numbers come in?
Only 55% reporting, but there's so many. We'll see. We'll
These
see
are just
what
the
happens.
delegates they've got so far.
So Texas, 21% reporting. Look how close this is. Bernie in the lead in Texas, but Biden's right on his heels. And then there's Bloomberg in there with almost 20%. I mean, those three are all very close to each other.
I like the American Samoas though. Like what they did, they only have 8 available, or 6 or 8. I think it was 8.
It's hardly any.
But they gave one to Tulsi Gabbard.
Because she came in second place.
Yeah, it's pretty good. She's got.
They voted for the billionaire instead of one of their own. There. Just saying.
Well, the billionaires probably bought a
lot. A guy who's probably never been to where they live. Probably. Well, I don't want to question his intelligence, but when he thinks of America, I doubt American Samoa is one of the top 50 places he thinks of. If you catch my drift.
When anybody thinks of America, does the American Samoas make the top 50?
Well, that's why I was also saying that Americans, like the people, that's why I was saying the voter turnout there was so low too. I don't think a lot of them really care, and they don't get a say in the general election anyway. So I think it's kind of weird that they even do that. But there is a Democratic governor there, and Donald Trump of this time. So it is weird. They don't even get to vote on their own president because Donald Trump's president of American Samoa. I guarantee you he's never been there.
Well, he didn't even know he was president of Puerto Rico.
Right, and that's one of the big ones of the territories.
The territories.
So Tennessee, let's look at that. Biden, 27%, Bernie, 24%. Bloomberg hogging up 23. Dude, that Bloomberg ad onslaught.
Was it the Bloomberg ad that showed a Whopper like degenerating over time, so it got moldy to show how natural it was? Was that a Bloomberg ad?
I don't know. I've never seen that.
Okay, it might have been a Burger King ad though. I didn't know if it was just like a moldy Whopper represented Bloomberg's campaign. It's good advertising.
Joe Biden winning in Oklahoma, 35%. Look at Bloomberg is putting up numbers though. I would have to say Bloomberg is stealing votes from Biden. I don't.
You think they're coming from Biden?
I mean, not all, but I'd say the majority of Bloomberg's voters would have voted for Biden.
Huh.
He doesn't espouse any of the talking points that Bernie talks about. Biden winning. They're calling it for Biden, I think.
They're calling Super Tuesday or North Carolina?
They're calling North Carolina for Biden, 33%.
He gets 41 delegates so far?
Yes. Minnesota, we don't have any data on that. Maine, Joe Biden, 37%, Bernie Sanders, 32%. They're tied for delegates right now, 9% reporting. California is a big one. We'll see what happens with that soon. But we're not going to get results for like 2 hours from there. We'll see what happens. Arkansas, Joe Biden. So look, there 1% reporting Joe Biden already projected to win. 62. Dude, that's what I'm saying. This is the black vote right here. Most Democrats in Alabama are black, and they're voting for Joe Biden.
You don't want to miss this election. Yeah, this is, I don't know, probably
stomach turn.
Darkest timeline.
Days of the
Not
campaign.
even the darkest timeline.
In fact, spending as much time in Virginia in the week leading up to South Carolina as he did in South Carolina. And the Sanders campaign felt that they had a number of gains in Virginia. He spent time both in Northern Virginia, in Richmond, and in the Virginia Beach area. But it looks as though, with our projection being as early as it came in, that this is going to be a decisive win for Joe Biden. So
they know they're on
not
TV.
A good sign
That's why
for
they're
the Sanders
cheering.
campaign this early on in the night that Virginia, a state that they thought could go either way, is solidly in the Biden column. Certainly, they're glad to have the win here in Vermont. But the Virginia win is something that I'm sure they're disappointed.
I hate it. I see people holding their Bernie signs upside down. You had one job, dude. You had one job. I see more than a few. I've counted 4 so far.
You don't like that?
It's like you watch a WWE event and you see the guy in the front row holding his sign upside down. He spent all day making it.
Yeah.
And he paid for front row tickets, and he's holding it upside down.
He's excited.
Dude, I've seen people win the world title and hold the belt upside down. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They're pretty happy right now, as we can see. Clearly, they're watching what's going on CNN at the same time.
I will say, though, if CNN's goal is to make Bernie look good and Biden look bad here, they're doing it. Like with what you mentioned, how there's nobody there at Biden HQ. But where is Biden HQ? You know, and like, I don't know.
It's in the parking lot of a school where he goes and hugs all the children.
It's outside of Jared Genesis's house. I'd like to announce my new running mate, Jared Genesis.
We're gonna clean up the streets of America.
Clean up the streets. We're gonna start with a tour of every elementary school in America.
Happy about Vermont, must be disappointed about Virginia right now. At some point, we're going to hear from all of these candidates right now. Let's go over to Jake and Dana. A big win for Biden in Virginia.
Yeah, that's significant. Vermont has 16. Let's look at the board here, the tablet. Vermont has 16 delegates, and that goes to Bernie Sanders. Virginia is a much bigger prize.
Dana bashes Bizarro World Dana Perino.
With 99 delegates. And obviously Joe Biden winning Virginia does not mean he gets all 99 delegates. They're awarded proportionally according to how big the victory is. And of course, that's about 40% of the delegates are given that way, 60% given according to who wins congressional districts. So what really matters here is not just that Biden won, but more importantly, how big.
Have you ever noticed the number one requirement to be a news anchor is awesome hair? Above all things.
Is it?
I mean, or at least the illusion of awesome hair.
Will he win? But that said, that's a big victory. That was a competitive state or Commonwealth. And the fact that Joe Biden, that we're calling it for Joe Biden so early in.
Go look at your local news anchors and look at their hair.
Well, they hire somebody to do the hair and makeup on set, right?
Right, but you got to have enough natural talent to bring out the artificial.
Was it pretty?
The natural hair
big, win.
Yeah, you just heard Ryan talking about, you know, the candor and how disappointing it is to the Sanders campaign that this is a W on the board for Joe Biden. Yes, it is proportional. It is unclear how many delegates he will get, but they have been playing, all of the campaigns especially, but the Biden campaign has been playing the congressional district game. And by that, I mean the delegates are also awarded by congressional districts. So, for example, they got Bobby Scott, a very popular congressman.
Very powerful.
A very powerful congressman who has an important district to.
All right, let's take a look at the live feed really quick here.
We're going live.
Let's see what they're saying over here.
Well, it looks like the reptilians score again.
91 delegates as you head into Milwaukee in July, which is going to complicate your life a bit.
Well, George, I was
Bloomberg
looking at
with
some headlines
4
from
delegates, all from American Samoa.
February and March of 2008, where they said Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are headed for a contested convention. Didn't quite happen. Hasn't happened since 1952.
All right, yeah, contested convention. I'm seeing people still say, I see it every year. People are like, we're going to have a contested convention. It hasn't happened since 1952. All right. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. They always fall in line eventually. You want to believe we live in this really weird time where like unusual things happen? Not too often. Usually the same shit happens.
Trump was an unusual thing.
That was one of the very rare things. It was.
And that matters a lot when it comes to the delegate count. It is, you can't emphasize enough how much of a numbers game it is at this point. Having said that, it is also a psychological game. And for Joe Biden to now have not one, but 2 wins in his column is a very big deal for the Biden campaign, despite the fact that it is very early and there are a lot of contests left to talk about.
Well, and also, we should just point out, if we look at the board here, Virginia will be a battleground state in the fall. Right. South Carolina, which Joe Biden won last Saturday, will not be. But Virginia, he will have to win in order, is presuming whoever the Democratic presidential nominee is.
Mm-hmm. And this is older, so at this point, the voting was very fresh. Let's watch this. Joe Biden talks about Bernie Sanders.
And welcome back with a special edition of AC 360 Countdown to Super Tuesday. We're bringing you interviews with the top 4 remaining Democratic presidential candidates.
All right, Warren, no fucking chance in hell at this point. I mean, she hasn't won one single state, and it doesn't look like she's even close to winning any. Her home state is Massachusetts, and she's not even in second place there. So goodbye. Sorry. Bye, Warren. Bye. Drop out. I know you're going to toe the party line and get behind Joe Biden like everybody else did. Even Andrew Yang. By the way, if you're an Andrew Yang supporter, you think he's different. He's supporting Joe Biden. I'm just pointing it out. Everyone's okay. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, I know you picked him, so you're going to come up with excuses.
Well, he was the corporate socialist, right?
Like, right. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. He had a social program that was corporate-based.
If you hadn't picked him, you wouldn't be defending him right now. You're defending your decision.
He was never the socialist guy. He was always corporate. From jump one. That's why I thought he might have a chance, because he was appealing to the corporate bases, the people who run the fucking elections. He was never about the people. He was about humanity, right? He wasn't about socialism. He was about humanity from a corporate standpoint. That's why I thought he might have a chance in this climate.
So you're defending your choice, not him.
I mean, I'm not defending anything. He was never going to be Bernie. He was coming out there like, I'm going to give everybody $1,000 a month. This is a stimulus. This is not a social program. This is a stimulus. And we're gonna be losing jobs to robots anyways. So he's gonna go with whoever the corporate people are with, because he was always corporate, and he's gonna try and work the UBI.
The funny thing is, I bet most of his supporters that have moved on to Bernie.
Yeah.
And I doubt they're gonna be Yang supporters now after Biden. And I hear you defending your decision to support him more than you defending what he's actually doing.
He was talking about going. He's like, when he was still running. When he was still running, he said, I don't know who I will support if I don't make it, but I will tell you this: Joe Biden's the only person that came down and actually talked to me and asked me about my points. So we knew this was coming with Biden. He alluded to it months ago. If you didn't see that months ago, then you're blind to the idea. He said it. He said so much. Of course, he was going to go with Biden because he's a business guy. He's a corporate guy. He knows that's who's behind
working for CNN.
And we're standing by for a game-changing event in the race. Joe Biden picking up the endorsements of former rivals Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, and Beto O'Rourke tonight. It's no coincidence this is happening in Delegate-rich Texas, one of the top prizes in Super Tuesday tomorrow. I spoke earlier with former Vice President Joe Biden. You just heard from Senator Sanders. Former Vice President Biden is poised to get those important new endorsements. I asked him if he is consolidating support.
I think what's going to be all about with me, and
he looks like shit. Look at him. Look at him next to Anderson. I know there's a pretty big age difference, but damn, like at Anderson Cooper, he got the news anchor hair, right? Perfect hair for what they got to work with.
They're all going to get styled. Like,
Biden don't look styled.
Because Biden's not in
Biden
studio.
looks so bad. Like, so bad.
If Biden was in studio, he'd have the hair care set up.
Oh, my God.
He probably woke up this morning, ran a comb through his hair, got out on the field, ran around, touching and grabbing fucking all the girls, having a good old time.
Yeah, that's the dude your boy Andrew Yang supports, the girl toucher.
Bernie, is that I don't think people are looking for revolution. I think they're looking for results. And I think that I'm being able to make the case and been able to make it in South Carolina and hopefully beyond that I can produce results. And the revolution he's talking about is, spending $60 billion that I don't know where he gets the money, and I don't see that as the answer.
A lot of great descriptions of what he's talking about there. I just don't have the money. I don't have the money. I don't say it.
I don't see where it gets the money. There's a whole infographic out there that shows where Bernie's going to get the money from. It's raising taxes on the rich.
Right.
The rich.
And cuts on military spending.
Yeah.
Would there be a place in a Biden administration for either Mayor Buttigieg or Senator Klobuchar?
Well, I think they're both qualified to do any job, and I have no idea what their interests are. But I really hope that when
I've been running against them for months, but I have no idea what their interests are.
And it's not like he didn't run last time, and it's not like he hasn't known him for decades because they've both been in politics for 30
Well, he was talking
plus
about
years.
Klobuchar, Buttigieg, and O'Rourke, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like he's talking about but he's been running against these people for so long. Some of them have been right on his heels or ahead of him in certain polls, but he doesn't know what any of them stand for because he didn't give a fuck about anybody else. He's riding on the name recognition alone. He's on that Obama time. He's like, I'm Joe Biden. I've always been a politician that didn't really look forward and wasn't very progressive at all, but I did hitch on to a good old Barack Obama. And now I hope I can milk that for all it's worth and get into the White House before I turn 80 years old.
I wouldn't be surprised if he made a deal with Buttigieg or somebody else supporting him to be his running mate.
I did speak to Mayor Buttigieg, and yesterday, I guess it was, time goes fast, and encouraged him when I heard he had suspended his campaign to stay engaged. And I did say that if I ended up being, I didn't ask for his endorsement, but I did say that if he in fact he has suspended his campaign, I hope he stays engaged. He has enormous talent. And I think we have to bring along, as he talks about, and I believe him, I agree, the new generation of political leaders who have significant exposure.
What the fuck is up with Biden's chin? Like, what is that?
It's just a little bit of loose skin. He's got a little hanger. There's wrinkles where there used to probably be dimples or something. My guy's got a varicose vein in his chin.
Go look at Biden 30 years ago. He has more hair now than he did then. Yeah. Biden got hair plugs or something at some point, because I've seen him younger where all of his hair's darker and he's noticeably younger, but he's got less hair then than he has now.
Nationally, and there's a lot of things he could do in administration if I'm the president.
Michael Bloomberg spoke to CNN's Don Lemon about you, and I wanted to play just a bit of what he said.
And by the way, a lot of people aren't aware of this. We confirmed this earlier. Bloomberg is actually older than Bernie by months.
Yeah, Bloomberg was born in February of the same year that Bernie was born, but Bernie was born in September. So
yeah, so almost, quite the better part of a year
older. Say half a year older,
Yeah.
So you could respond. Play that.
He is a legislator, and the job requires a manager and executive. And I feel very strongly about that.
He was the vice president. Obama thought he was ready. You don't think he's ready?
Obama thought he was ready for what?
To be president. Okay, I'm not trying to defend Biden, but I fucking hate Bloomberg. All right. If your job is vice president, that literally means you're qualified to be president, because your number one job as vice president is to become president when you need to be. And like it's not just when the president dies or resigns or whatever, because there are times where you have to become acting president. There was a point, the first George W. Bush, he went to China and got a flu and got like deathly ill, like hospitalized while in China. And for like a week, Dan Quayle was the acting president of the United States.
Potato.
Yes. So it's happened. Like he wasn't officially president, but he got the helm while the president was overseas ill.
I'll tell you this, America, I wasn't ready for this shit.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Dan Quayle didn't even bother running for president.
He's like,
at
well,
all.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Goodbye, guys.
He was his vice president. He was ready to be president. That's the next job.
I don't know. You'd have to talk to President Obama about that. All I know is we keep.
Did he say Obama with an ER?
Obama. Yeah, that's a northeastern kind of thing.
Okay.
You'll hear that in New York a lot. But in England you'll hear that a lot too. You'll hear like Samantha. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Legislators in the job that requires a manager.
Is he right? Is this a job that requires a manager, and are you a manager?
It requires somebody who...
Listen to him catching his breath. Dude, with all this traveling, what if one of these old motherfuckers gets the coronavirus?
Oh, no.
Dude,
no.
I was, you know what? I was joking around about, like, what if Pence and Trump got it from all the rallies they do, and then we get President Pelosi? And, like, what if? The biggest what if scenario. What if? What if in the next few months, we're 9 months away from an election, what if Pence and Trump both get the coronavirus and croak from it? We get President Pelosi. Then what do we do in the election? She would run as the Democratic seating president, I would think.
I don't know, man.
She would finish out the current presidential term, which is only up until January. She would have to run in the next election. We would switch like the incumbent president. I just thought, like, that would be the craziest shit show to watch ever. I had like this weird imagination. I was imagining that happening. I think our whole country would just.
If that
fall
happened,
apart.
who'd be the Republican nominee? Probably.
Could they find one that fast?
It'd probably be The Rock, right? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Throw him in.
Yeah.
I think he'd make a good Republican president. I'd vote for him.
He's gotten things done. Requires someone who understands how to bring people together. It requires a Democrat, by the way, to be a Democratic president. And it requires someone who has a track record. And the president handed me significant responsibility and presidential authority when I was the vice president. I'm the guy that managed the $900 billion Recovery Act. I got the votes for it, and I got it passed. As well as that, I managed it day to day. I did the same thing in a number of foreign policy issues.
Oh, you gave the banks $900 million or $1 billion? That's what guys, like, look, these same banks that have completely funded both parties for so long, I gave them $1 trillion, basically $1 trillion. I was in charge of giving them money. Now they give it back to me. It's awesome. Vote for me.
I like Mike, but he knows zero about foreign policy. Zero about foreign policy. The next president, day one, has to be ready to stand up and command the world stage and unite this country. They have not been things that and Mike's a good guy, but look, you can spend
Mike's
billions
a good
of
guy.
dollars.
Look at his track record. Look at everything he's done. All the sexual cases that are closed against him that he's bought out.
Yeah.
All the history
NDAs,
of racism.
He's got way more NDAs than Onision. Let's just say that.
NDA stands for no direct
Contrary
assaults.
to what some.
Dude, check this out. Here's a recent Bernie ad that I saw.
Why is this
here?
Oh, no.
Contrary to what some in my party might think, Iraq was a problem that had to be dealt with.
Weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction.
We thought he had weapons of mass destruction. It turns out he didn't, but
I never believed
what Cheney and Bush said about Iraq.
I'm an Iraq veteran. I shipped to Iraq exactly 6 days after the war started. As a veteran, I didn't see a lot of Trump children or other rich kids in the military. The military is all people from middle class and lower middle class backgrounds.
Yeah,
Those are the
trying to
people
get
that go
free
fight the war.
education. That's how
I
they bait
remember
you in.
all the ginning up
And with
towards
shitty
the war
health
in
care from the
Iraq, and I see
VA.
the same thing now.
Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel.
We have every expectation that people not only in Iraq but in Iran will view the American action last night as giving them freedom.
Well, I support Bernie Sanders because he doesn't take money from the defense contractors. He hasn't been meeting with people to start the wars, he's been meeting with people to fight the wars. Bernie Sanders meets with working class families who have had family members who have fought in Iraq. They show him what it's like when you come back from a war. If you don't meet with those people, you don't understand that kind of hardship. Bernie Sanders is somebody who understands that these people don't want their children to go off and fight in foreign wars.
I know that it is rarely the children of the billionaire class who face the agony of reckless.
Yeah, I mean, I can call out Trump and Clinton. They both should have went to Vietnam, and they didn't.
Hillary couldn't have gone to Vietnam.
No, Bill.
Oh.
Foreign policy. It is the children of working families.
The two presidents that are the age of having to go to, and Bush. Bush didn't go because his dad had been like director of the CIA.
With the mothers of the young men who lost their lives in that war. War is a horror. And it's time politicians understood that we have got to do everything humanly possible to avoid war.
The Iraq War cost us roughly $2 trillion. It cost us the lives of 4,500 soldiers and 500,000 Iraqi citizens. Donald Trump has fundamentally broken his two most important promises.
Yeah,
to the
sure.
middle
So did
class.
Biden.
He promised to help the middle.
Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton both supported the Iraq War.
$1 billion, but you can't move away from what your record is.
Do you believe Mike Bloomberg is not a Democrat? I mean, he's running now, obviously, as a Democrat.
He's not a Democrat. Well, he hasn't been a Democrat. And look, I think what the folks are looking for is someone who can produce things, who's ready on day one, and is a Democrat.
You shouldn't just be a Democrat no matter what. You shouldn't just remain a Democrat regardless of what they do. Oh, he's always, but he hasn't been a Democrat. That's like following a religion. Like, that's like still being Catholic, even though you know that they're like letting kid fuckers run wild there. Like, no.
I am an Obama-Biden Democrat. I've been a Democrat all my life. I never had any.
Yeah, so you don't question, you choose the party over your own ideals, is what you're saying right now. You're a cultist.
Qualms or concerns about what my views were, and I've stuck to it. It's all about
What the views have changed over the years. What do you mean?
Raising people up in a big way. But it's not about making sure you're able to put together and I compliment Mike. He put together a heck of a corporation. But the way he dealt with the people allegedly in his corporation has not been, at least it's not past vet yet. And, everybody's now looking at his record and what kind of record he has as mayor. I was one of the people who, along with the president, moved to see to it that the Justice Department said cease and desist from throwing 5 million people up against the wall, kinds of thing. I mean, so look, I don't want to get into criticizing Mike. I think he's a decent guy, but I don't think he is a Democrat with a capital D. That's not where he's been. He has a different view on a whole range of things, including the role of what built this country. This country was built by the middle class.
Bloomberg is a political opportunist. He changed parties when he saw a weakness on the other side. That's what he did. We've looked at the dates where he became, well, like first he was a Democrat, then he became a Republican, then he became an independent, then he became a Democrat again. He did that when one side was wounded and he chose the other side. That's what he does. Bernie was never a Democrat. He was always an independent. He still runs as an independent as a senator, but he has this belief that if you want to win, you have to be one of the two parties. And he caucuses with the Democrats, but
Bernie's been progressive forever, right? Like if you're a progressive liberal, if you're a progressive Democrat, if you're a progressive person, like Bernie is everything. Biden has been as conservative as a liberal can be forever.
Right.
He's been against all sort of advancements in social programs, just human rights. You look at it, and then you look at these really creepy video. Like I say creepy because we shit all over Trump for grabbing by the pussy, right? And we should have, and nothing happened. He won. I was like, oh, this is the nail in the coffin. This guy cannot win.
Did.
And now we're the party of we're calling out all the actions that men do, and then we have videos of him being creepy. It's creepy Uncle Joe.
The last election, the last presidential election, caused me to not vote for a Democrat for the first time in my life. And this next one, depending on how these next few months turn out, could cause me to vote Republican for the first
There's
time
no
ever.
way I'm voting Republican, but
I will do it because I'm saying fuck you to the Democrats for dropping the ball on this again. Like last time, I just voted for someone who I knew couldn't win. This next time, I'm going to vote for someone who I hate less. Yeah.
Unions built the middle class. That's how it got there. It wasn't Wall Street. It was ordinary people given an exceptional opportunity.
I voted for Jill Stein 4 years ago.
And they're not getting it.
Yeah.
You criticized President Trump's response to the coronavirus crisis. What specific steps would a President Biden be taking that the current administration isn't?
I would have taken the steps we took when we dealt with Ebola. I would not have disbanded the office within the White House that this president, that Trump eliminated. I would not be in a position where we would have waited till now to try to figure out how you have testing kits put in place. We knew back in January. I would have been in a position where I would not have eviscerated the budget of the CDC.
It's so easy to say, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have done that. Like, yeah, any failure your opponent has done, you could point at and say you wouldn't have done it. Let's hear about what you're going to do. You're so stuck in the past. Yeah, we all know you were Obama's vice president. No one gave a fuck about who you were before that, really. Even though it's kind of weird Obama chose you, even though you spoke in favor of segregation years before. Oh, my God. Corporations run America, everybody. Corporations.
Yeah, always have.
Not always.
Well.
Not always, but yeah, for the majority of it.
Scientists make the decisions. And look, this is where a president's credibility really matters. A president can, in fact, calm nerves that can expose very grave concerns. This president has gone so far out of the way to, at one point, a week or so ago, saying that this was a Democratic hype or something. I mean, he put it in political terms. It's always about him. It's not about him. It's about other people. It's about the American people. It's about what's happening in the world. And he hasn't listened to any of the experts that have been spoken to, the best I can tell, because all that he's done.
Yeah, like the first president to really warn us about corporate greed was the greed of military-industrial complex. That was Eisenhower. That's when even a Republican conservative president who was one of the highest-ranking generals in the history of our military was like, hey, war is big business.
Yeah.
And that's why war continues to be part of the equation.
War is big business. We know that, but then big business got into war. Like the war itself, the military would kind of like be the workers within the war and run the business, the soldiers that would be pulled in. And then in the Iraq war, they started outsourcing all the jobs the soldiers would normally do to private companies. That's where it becomes ludicrous. War was big business on its own, but it was a government business. Like, you know what? Why not bring Halliburton in?
I used to work for a phone company, and I would get calls from all kinds of weird things, but when Halliburton and Blackwater, if you're familiar with Blackwater, that was another private military firm. It was a lot of ex-special forces soldiers that retired that were getting paid big bucks. Like, they were experts in the military, and in the military you don't get paid that much. They were getting paid like pro sports players' salaries to go back and do type like special ops type stuff. And I would get calls from people that would call me and tell me, "Yeah, I'm going over as a military contractor." It was really weird. And they even had like company accounts with the name of the company on it and everything. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
So far has not been very helpful.
Have you been making plans in your own campaign for how the virus may impact the race? I mean, are you going to continue getting large groups of people together, shaking hands in crowded spaces? I mean, have you given thought to how this might impact the race?
Well, I have, and we're listening to the CDC. My former chief of staff, who's still helping me now, Ron Klain, was the guy to put together our Ebola response. We have experts that are dealing with us and giving us the advice that needs to, whatever they suggest, the scientists suggest, that's how we'll conduct ourselves.
There have been some prominent Democrats, as you know, who've been critical of your organization. Terry McAuliffe on CNN the other night, the same night that he endorsed you, said that you had virtually no ground game in Iowa. James Clyburn said you needed...
This is a fucking interview, man. This is not journalism. Fucking Anderson Cooper wants Joe Biden to be president. Or at least his boss does. Whatever. I can't pretend to know him. He's working a job. I don't even really have a problem with Anderson Cooper. He's all right. He's one of the better ones.
He's like, you know, part of the big money elite as well. He's a Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. His mom,
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
That's that big money. So he's.
But I don't want to take anything away from him. He's good at what he does. Like
But what does he really do? Like, how many?
He's
people...
a talking head. I'm not saying he's a good journalist. Really, I'm saying. He looks good. He has a good voice. He can talk well. He can interview well. He's mildly good on TV. Like he can be entertaining.
He should be that way if he grew up in the social elite, right? Like it's cakewalk.
Right.
He gets to sit there, guys. I'm very serious, and I'm talking about serious issues, and I'm talking in a way that everybody will listen to and look at me.
Right.
Well, because I'm an attractive man. And I will tell you right now that things are going to be okay, but they're also very bad. So keep watching.
Let's see where we are right now. I see someone in the chat named 1776.
That was a good year.
This is the part where Ben recognizes a troll. I think Ben said Joe Biden is winning the black vote because they are ignorant. Well, if you rewind, you'll see I said most voters are ignorant. But that's why he's winning that demographic in states with primarily most black voters. Joe Biden versus Bernie Sanders.
In Virginia.
That's over. Biden has it. 60 delegates. We won't even... Let's see. Did Bernie get... No, it's... So 8-3. Texas. Bernie's still ahead in Texas, which is amazing.
By a decent margin. 28% is not bad. Yeah, we got 36.2 Joe Biden to 24.5, and that gives him 21 delegates to 11, with Bloomberg catching 4 out of Tennessee. Okay.
It makes me so mad that anybody votes for Bloomberg. Okay.
37% to 24% in, with Biden getting 15 delegates and Bernie getting 5 out of that.
North Carolina, Biden more. Dude, all of these southeastern states, But Biden has Minnesota, too. It's way closer.
I wonder how a little refresh from Minnesota. He's up by 12,000.
They don't count the popular vote, though, as we've learned.
Part of the popular vote goes to the delegates, right?
Yeah.
Tied in Massachusetts.
Look at Warren in her home state coming in third place.
Well,
drop out, Warren.
Do it, Warren. Go night-night. Go night-night.
Tied at 34%. I mean, you might as well say it. It's less.
150, within 150 votes.
Yeah. So Maine's close. Maine doesn't have a lot of delegates, though. I mean, Maine's a lowly populated state. Colorado, Bernie's winning there. Thank God people smoke weed there. Finally. California, we don't know. I like how they put Andrew Yang, yeah. Joe Biden in Arkansas. That's close, but has a decide. Joe Biden won. They're calling Alabama for dude. This is a brutal ass kick.
32. Damn, 62% now.
He's getting all of them so far. I mean,
yeah. Rough.
Yeah. Here's Joe Biden or Trump's taxes spark a fiery confrontation.
Just into CNN, this fiery exchange between a member of the House Ways and Means Committee and the White House.
Look at the Dow today, 720 points.
And it's all over President Trump's.
They lowered interest rates today. That lowers the market when that happens because of the coronavirus.
Tax returns. This is just the latest.
I had like 100 loan companies try to call me to sell me a loan today because of interest rates dropped.
Battle in a months-long war over those documents, which the committee chairman requested last April. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin refused, and the Justice Department later agreed with him despite a subpoena. In December, the Supreme Court agreed to take up the case, but today, this was the scene on Capitol Hill between Secretary Mnuchin and New Jersey Democrat Bill Pascrell.
By refusing to turn over Donald Trump's business and personal tax returns to this committee, I think you're breaking the law. You have no legitimate legal rationale.
So part of me is like, fuck that. Tax returns are personal. I think it's dumb that there's an expectation that the president has to show tax returns. I realize this is for legal proceedings, but part of me thinks that, but also like, what is he hiding?
Yeah.
Like, what is he hiding?
It's just strange that he's been hiding this for so long. When he was on the Comedy Central roast, they could approve jokes for Donald Trump to be roasted, and it was okay for people to roast him about having sex with his daughter, but not about not being as rich as he claimed to be.
Yeah.
Like even then, he's like, no jokes about me not being as rich as I claim to be, but it's okay for me to.
He's insecure about that.
For me want to bang my daughter.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me.
Right.
Like that's just
it's
nuts.
It's like being able to make jokes about Billy the Fridge having all of these horrible views on things, but not being able to make fun of his height.
Well, if that's the case, then Trump is more of a billionaire. If that's the case, then he's just hiding how actually rich he is.
Okay, yeah.
Because when people make jokes about my height, they are gregarious lies.
We've
far
learned
lower than actual
Look how
height.
long this dude's been sitting there making that same face.
Oh, I made poopy.
Oh, I made a poopy. I'm a boo-boo, my dog.
recently
I just ate
that
a can of
simultaneously have been
sardines.
offering documents to the loyal opposition. When two Republican senators asked you for the private financial information of Joe Biden's family, your department practically tripped over themselves to provide it. You sent it over to them so fast. Wonder if you stuffed it in a Federal Express envelope.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, try to show your bias a little less.
I wonder if you stuck it in a Federal Express envelope.
I wonder if you murdered some kids on your way to send it while you're at it, huh? Capiche?
This message is sponsored by Federal Express.
So you refuse to turn over the president's tax returns to us, which is required by law. It says shall, doesn't say might. I'll give you the citation. Again, 26, and you're familiar with this section. I know you are. It's right on the screen. There it is. That's the law. Your stated reasons for stonewalling our request, you never cite any superseding legal basis. The only thing you suffer is smug rhetoric and staggering lies. I told you what the law is, word for word. It's right there. Tell me the specific statute that allows you to overrule 26 USC 6103 F1A at your whim. Tell me what statute. Please.
So first of all, let me just comment.
I asked the question, Mr. Secretary.
No, I'm commenting because I find it offensive that you're telling me that I'm breaking the law and staggering.
He's pulling in the emotional card right now. Sir, I find it offensive.
I'm so offended.
Lies. I've relied upon.
I asked you to tell me why you're not breaking the law.
His last name only has one vowel in it.
It's got two.
Oh, yeah, a U. Yeah, you're right, two. Nuchin.
The law right
Again,
there.
Just to be clear, there's a third branch of government, and there are courts that
Have you ever seen Serbian names that have no vowels in them?
No.
Interpret things. This is in the courts, and the courts will deal with it. So that's your interpretation of the law. I'm relying upon legal counsel on what is our interpretation of the law. So in all due respect, I am not breaking the law. You have a different interpretation. You're not a judge, and this will be determined by a...
Neither are you.
Neither are you.
So there you go. And the Supreme Court is expected to issue a ruling on the president's taxes by June.
Interesting.
Hooray.
All right, we're going to do one more look over before we get back into this. I'm going to pull up a live feed here, and we'll see what we've got with that.
Super Tuesday.
Voting, we know that about 1 million Democrats voted early right now. We're not even at that number yet if you add all these totals together. So they're still counting that vote as we come in. Some of the big cities and areas
needs to win Texas and
Bernie Sanders on
California.
top there with a quarter of the vote in.
You think Bernie's got California left?
That's a nice lead.
I don't
but
know.
Right next door in Dallas
I
Dallas
didn't
County,
know. I didn't
Biden's
want
on
to.
top,
I
but
knew
it's
he'd
really
get
close right there. They're only separated by 2,000
I
votes.
knew he'd get Vermont, obviously. I did not think he would win any of the Southeast.
He's got Nevada, right?
Yeah, he won Nevada. He's good with Hispanic voters, which is why Texas is doing well for him.
Cali should be pretty good for him. Man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to assume.
One of the big factors at play here is how much that state is changing, whether it's changing fast
George
enough for the Democrats
Stephanopoulos. Look at that
to show
hair.
what the trends
Look
are.
at that Greek hair.
Somebody said the
Oh,
last
look
time
at
a
that
Democrat
hair.
won in Texas was 1994. I ran that guy's campaign. That's how I met George W. Bush in the course of this. Texas has gone from a blue state to a red state. It's now light red. And over the next year, 2 years, it's trending to purple. And I think one of the things you're seeing in Texas, which is playing out everywhere, which is the changing dynamic in Texas and why a lot of Democrats did well in the midterms in Texas congressional, was the suburbs. And the suburbs is what's driving a lot of the turnout around the country, but it's what's driving the fundamental change besides Latino, the growth of the Latino population. Fundamental change is suburbs.
Rob, let me bring you in on this as well. One of the things we saw in the 2018 midterms, the Democrats' victories in the midterms were powered by suburban voters. One of the questions is going to be, can President Trump win any of those back in November?
Oh my God, Chris Christie is up there on the panel.
All the increases that Chairman Perez talked about that is a turnout is coming because of the suburban vote. 2018 is a precursor to 2020 in the way that 06 big midterm told you what's coming in 08. 1978 when the Republicans won big in the Senate told you what was going to happen.
Rahm Emanuel is a big-time Obama guy who ended up becoming mayor of Chicago. And then we got him sitting next to Chris Christie, which is weird. Okay, Sanders is up to 100. He's 35 delegates away. Texas and California have a ton of delegates because they're hugely populated states, two of the most populated states in the country. Bloomberg might. I'm afraid about New York. I think Bloomberg might win New York. That's not today. I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking of the states that have a ton of delegates, and New York, California, Texas, Illinois, because Illinois has Chicago.
They hate Bloomberg in New York, though, don't they?
They elected him mayor a bunch of times. He was mayor for like 12 years there.
Sanders got that good time Colorado. Where the weed is. Where the weed at? Where the weed at? There's no weed legal in New York, right?
This looks good, though. I like how Bernie's gaining and Biden is sinking and Bloomberg. Fuck, dude. He should not have that many votes. Dude, how many... I'm so sad for the world when people are voting for Bloomberg. Seriously, guys, Bloomberg is the worst person to run for president in my lifetime.
Pretty sweet to be an old white man in America. You can buy an erection and an election. Sponsored by Blue Chew. Blue states love Blue Chew. Keep your dick hard well into your 80s. Chris Christie.
Black voters who
Is this Chris Christie?
Tend to shift towards Bernie. He doesn't yet have the older vote yet. I think Biden is taking a lot of that. And so this resurgence is going to be great for all of us.
Let's pick up on that, David. Do you see that on the horizon? Do you think there was
They tried with Rachel Dolezal got shit for that,
Was she from here?
She's from Eastern Washington.
Okay,
she was the Spokane chapter president of the NAACP.
She got a perm and a bad tan and said she was part black. Right? Isn't that what happened?
I mean,
and then her parents, they were both white, were like, hey, Rachel, stop lying to everybody.
Stop lying.
You know you fucked up when your parents are outing you like that. Like, oh, God.
That could be the second chapter of this evening.
Younger voters.
Come on, Rachel. Stop running the Northwest chapter of the NAACP, Rachel.
And another interesting...
Stop being the president of the Spokane chapter of the NAACP. Come home.
Who are Latino are saying... identify with Sanders. I think that he understands racial and ethnic minorities better. Black people are saying the exact same thing about Biden. So if you remember, there was a November debate, I think it was, where Biden said, I come out of the black community. And that's really bearing out. People think that he's a sympathizer, that he understands that he can could beat President Trump. That's more important than their issue where Latinos were saying it's different. It's more about aligning with...
I hate to keep rehashing this, but look at the two heads of hair in the middle there.
Latino voters
I mean,
this time
seriously,
around. Let's take another look at another state coming in right now, Massachusetts.
I'm not saying they look good. They're
Tom.
like I don't know.
They
I
don't look good to me. Maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah, you wish you had hair that good.
No, I do. I got beautiful hair.
No, your hair isn't that good.
No, I let my hair down, and people get boners, and they get
we're still seeing
super
Joe
wet.
Biden
It's gross.
holding on. There's still
That's why I
a
have
lot
to keep
of
my
votes
hair
coming.
up.
But George, I remind you, this has changed a lot over the last 30 minutes. You got to remember the last time we looked at this, there wasn't this much green on the board. Green is for Joe Biden, blue is for Sanders. That lighter blue is for Elizabeth Warren, who's the current senator of Massachusetts. She was a professor also at Harvard and Boston. We can dig in a little deeper into some of the county data here. It breaks up a little differently when you get to New England, but we can get some stuff from here. An hour ago, Warren was on top in Middlesex County, and now Biden's on top there. In Boston, Suffolk County, Biden's on top as well. Of course, Boston is an area in the entire metropolitan region right here, the Boston metropolitan region. Half of it is minorities, 25% African American, 25% Hispanic. This is a good spot to...
Hold on. They didn't update the upper part of this. Because I guess that's only
how
Suffolk
both candidates,
County,
Sanders and Biden, can play in a state like this.
Sanders
And
has a good amount of people
just to remind you guys,
in the county that Boston
he's
is
under
in.
12% right now, not breaking that 15% threshold.
A lot of home states on the board. Let's pull up Maine before you go as well.
In areas of low population, counties that don't have a lot of people. Bernie Sanders seems to be doing better in the cities.
It's almost neck and neck
Lewiston,
in Maine.
Portland. That's where a lot of the votes are right now, but it's dead even right now. But we're only talking about 14,000 votes each.
This is one of those states in November where they split out the electoral votes, and Donald Trump got an electoral vote out of the state of Maine 4 years ago. It's also a state, Mary Bruce, where Senator Susan Collins is running for re-election. He's really getting hit by both sides.
Absolutely, and that is 100% because of the way that she handled
I'm not saying
impeachment.
Anchorman hair is
she in some ways
good.
tried
I'm
to
saying
have a
Anchorman hair has a certain look, and you have to have the Anchorman hair to get the job as an Anchorman.
First you get the hair, then you get the suit, then you get the job.
She knew she was going to pay a hefty
Yeah.
price.
John Crow, I know you've paid a lot of attention to this.
Yeah, look at those two motherfuckers with their weird helmet hair in the middle. Yeah, like, I mean, have you ever seen
69 to 269 electorates?
an Anchorman with the Picard?
Would likely be
Yeah.
because of that
No.
one delegate, that
Yeah.
one
No, who?
from Northern Maine, which is conservative.
No, no, no.
Is looking
You
ahead
have
to
never.
November. We
You've
got
never
to
seen
take a
it.
break. We'll be back in just a minute.
You've never seen it. They gotta have that Ron Burgundy hair.
I don't watch a lot of Anchorman.
You do.
But you might be right. I don't watch I watch the news
straightforward.
On Drunken Peasants. I get all my news from Drunken Peasants podcast.
Drunken
as
Peasants
you should
News,
too.
straightforward.
DP News. Double penetration across the nation.
Everyone, if you're watching right now, please like the stream. Liking the stream is great, and making sure you're subscribed, because YouTube unsubscribes people when they get mad at them. You should do that too. You know what? When we covered Weirdo Nisi on drama content, we gained subscribers, and when we went back to news, YouTube started unsubscribing people again.
Oh, no.
So if you don't want us to start covering weird drama content more, then you should probably make sure you're still subscribed.
We likes the drama. We likes the content. We likes the drama.
Yeah, everybody who licked the stream, thank you very much. That's very sweet.
I'm almost convinced that YouTube targets any channel that isn't Fox News, CNN, MSNBC that covers news.
I mean, probably. They definitely have a favorable relationship with the news networks. They know the news networks aren't going to go film a body out in the forest and make fun of it in the suicide forest. Like, they at least know that.
Also, I'd like to remind everyone, since you're watching right now, that you would want to keep March 15th, Sunday, March 15th, open on your calendar. There's a very special new show that will be doing its debut episode on this very channel, Sunday, March 15th. Look out for it. You don't want to miss it. It's something totally different, something totally new.
Beware the Ides of March.
All right, this is, oh my God, folks. So, Mr. Vice President, what's your policy on the economy? Well, there's these kids, and they come up on my legs and they rub on them, and that's the day I learned that kids are like roaches.
Kids are like roaches.
And the economy,
Kids are like roaches. They're always in my kitchen.
the economy, we have to do the economy, and we have to make it work. We have to make the economy work for the
yeah, that's right, man.
common man, because Donald Trump doesn't do that. Well, that was somewhat coherent at the end, Mr. Vice President. Thank you. Holy shit, Joe Biden's having a rough day. I don't know who their candidate's going to be, because it does look like it's going to be Joe. It looks like it. At first, it looked like it might
I hate agreeing with the guy that fucks Shanny for Christ.
have been Bernie, but now they're just, once again, the Democratic Party is throwing Bernie Sanders under the bus. I mean, if you're going to go socialist, the Democratic Party has become socialist. Okay, I have friends. I have a teacher from high.
How the hold on. You're such a fucking idiot, dude. The Democratic Party's becoming socialist. If anything, they're trying their best to eliminate anyone who uses the word socialist to describe themselves. And if you think democratic socialism is the same as, Maoist communism or anything like that, then you're kidding yourself.
High school that I'm friends with on my Facebook. And he is in such a mind state. My dad knew him. My dad and him were good friends in school because my dad taught chemistry in school. He taught chemistry.
Did you swallow some of the fluid in his beakers or what? Like, I don't know.
Knew this guy. My dad is rolling in his grave that this man is now having to parse between communism and socialism. And he's saying that socialism isn't that bad of a thing, folks. Holy shit. If you're going to embrace...
There's different types of socialism.
Socialism as a party, then you have to go for it.
They're not embracing... Dude, you're too busy fucking Shanny to realize that the Democratic Party is not embracing socialism. They're pushing it away. Everyone is over here saying, we don't want Bernie Sanders, he's a socialist. And here's Bernie Sanders saying, democratic socialism is not regular socialism. So you're even further ignorant.
Okay, make Bernie Sanders your candidate. Say that we are now democratic socialists. And get your little crew of Antifa people and shit to vote for Bernie. He might win. Who knows? You could win. Maybe the momentum for Bernie on your side is such with a rocket underneath his bald ass, that you might win.
Oh my God, your hair ain't looking too thick either, buddy. I mean,
Rev is definitely not a news anchor.
Yeah, he does not have news anchor hair.
Yeah. He's got YouTube analysts like Tism Rock.
Yeah.
He's there.
You Democrats, it's making my heart bleed to watch your debates. I mean, you have completely lost your way.
Bleed? What the fuck does that mean? There's blood coming in and out of your heart constantly.
Totally and completely lost your way as a party. You're not even a party. I couldn't call what I'm seeing on the stage in these Democratic debates a party. You're unbelievable, because I was a part of your party. That's why my heart hurts watching you. It's horrible. It's like Barack Obama's going to want to say, Democrat, yeah, I used the label to get elected, but I was never a Democrat either. Obama's going to want to distance himself from this party. Yeah.
No, he's in control of it. He's the guy everyone's kissing the ass of.
It's the most horrible performance I've ever seen.
I like he's got his lighter in his hand. Like they try to pretend like they don't get high anymore. He's like literally got his lighter right there. Which I'm cool. Like, get high, buddy.
It's incredible. And then you have mini Mike Bloomberg that he drops a bombshell, right? And people go, oh, So make it Bloomberg. Run on banning guns. Try that. Because what you got going now, the same old bullshit with old people saying that, they're gonna raise your taxes. It's like their only platform is saying, okay, we're gonna cut taxes for $200,000 and below, which never happens really. If they cut my taxes, I'd pay none, right? Yeah, that's true, because my income isn't so low. All right? They never do what they say they're going to do. That's the point. Trump got in there and did what he said he's going to do, and it made everybody prosperous. Because trickle-down economics does work to a certain extent.
Seriously, anything works to an extent. So yeah, trickle-down economics does work to an extent. Yeah. And it does work for some people very, very, very well. But it works horribly for other people. Same thing if you try it the other way. So yeah, anything works to an extent. Yeah, like what is he even saying?
It does work.
Yeah, it does.
Businesses make money.
Uh-huh.
They save money. They hire.
Cut your nails, dude. Look at this shit.
Oh no, poor
Cut
Shanny.
them, dude.
Poor Shanny.
How much Shanny juice he got crusty under the...
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Why do they look so flat?
It's because he has them inside of a rock tumbler all day.
People. Their goods get cheaper. Because the cost of production's lower. They make more shit. They make more money. Then they pass it on to you, the consumer. And then they hire you. Do you see how that works, folks? That's capitalism. And it fucking works.
It doesn't work.
It works.
When they're in charge of cutting all the corners and eliminating the jobs that actually were careers.
I'm crying.
And replacing them with short order bullshit and robots. I'm sorry. It's not going to work.
Oh, God, I'm crying.
It's not going to work. It's only worked against us. All the riots, all the deaths that they had in the early 1900s to unionize America and make actual careers and create a middle class have all been fiddled away because corporations do not have the interest of the people. They have the interest of the small percentage, and cutting corners is actually like they're obligated to through Wall Street. They're obligated to find ways to make more money for Wall Street, not for the people working for them. This is not trickle down. This is buckle down. Anybody working for us, start to get on food stamps, start to take care of government programs, choose between groceries or medication, because it's going to get really tough for you, and we're going to be multi-billionaires. We're going to make more millionaires than ever before while putting more people into poverty.
Rich people pass on their wealth to the... Huh?
Yeah, motherfucker, listen. Oh, no.
Yeah, watermelon. That has a lot to do with what I'm talking about.
Is she... I want to see Shanny debate Mama JF. Can we set that up on the show? Is it possible?
I don't want Shanny on the show.
You want Mama JF on? Damn it. You know that's good when Mama JF has more clout. Oh,
my God.
Damn it. Women's Issues with Shanny for Christ and Mama JF.
Oh, my God.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Hold on. I think I have an idea of what that might be like, actually. I think. Yeah! Welcome to Women's Issues with Shanny for Christ and Mama JF. And here's my co-host, Mama JF. Welcome.
JF? Who is this wildebeest? Why does she look like a watermelon full of mayonnaise?
Piece of shit, and get your face into my ass. You want to eat my ass, Mama JF?
Yes, I do. For the kingy, for the ethno-state will be in your
How
anus.
the fuck would you love to eat my ass, bitch?
I will eat it. I will ride it like a bicycle naked, Shanny for Christ.
Okay.
My queengy. Weird. I hate that. I hate that.
Okay.
I just don't like that at all.
I love watermelon.
What? What?
Oh, God.
Why? Why?
Oh, God.
But anyway, Democrats prey on people's stupidity with the economy. You had Bill Clinton, right? The reason his economy
Why is he in the bathroom recording this shit? You know he's in the bathroom. I can hear the vent fan.
Economy was so good for him was the dot-com boom. It's a fact. The amount of money that brought into the country was astronomical.
The dot-com boom. It was the dot-com boom. The dot-com boom was good. It was very good. Very good. But it's nothing compared to the Amazon, Walmart. The dot-com boom had Microsoft was on the up. It definitely was there for the dot-com boom. But we're talking Google. We're talking Apple was not popping that big in the 90s and under Bill Clinton. We've made nations out of corporations over the last 20 years. These are small nations that run corporate agendas, Facebook, information, digital dignity. We are 100% above and beyond fuck a dot-com boom, okay? That was nothing compared to this. And Bill Clinton had a lot of prosperity because he actually took the time to balance the budget.
See all the weird shit on Rev's upper lip? He eating coochie, y'all. He eating coochie.
Yahoo, eBay, you could throw eBay in there. The big companies, the dot-commers, started on the stock market, and the stock market went apeshit, and that made the economy go apeshit. Awesome. It was a good thing. It was an amazing time for the country, but it wasn't because of Bill Clinton's policies. It wasn't. Do you know who Bill Clinton's main economist was?
Hold on. I think I saw Rev do a white supremacist symbol. Hold on, right there. Oh my
Hustle,
God.
loyalty, and respect. Do 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 do.
Holy shit. Racist-lation news.
Economist was giving him advice. Little fucking Robert Reich. Look him up, Robert Reich. He's that close to a communist. Okay? His policies were not doing shit for the economy.
If he's that close, but that means he's still not, right?
Yeah.
And Clinton created NAFTA, which was the biggest fucking...
That was not communist at all. That was globalist capitalism right there.
Yeah.
Atrocity of the American economy, ever.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking horrible.
Democrats lie to you. Remember that.
Both sides.
But you're a joke. Uncle Joe's having a rough day.
Uncle Joe's having a rough day. NAFTA, they're claiming Bush created NAFTA, but NAFTA came into part on January 1st, 1994.
Clinton was president.
Yeah. So it's agreement signed by Canada, Mexico, and the United States. That came into force in 1984 and superseded the 1988 Canada-United States Free Trade Agreement. So added Mexico to it a few years later. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Joe Biden's got Oklahoma.
Bernie Sanders winning Utah, 30% reporting.
You know, we really don't want socialism here in these red states because we kind of already get more out of the system than we put into it.
Utah is definitely a red state, though, for sure.
Yeah, but it's a West Coast red state. It's a Western red, and they love socialism there. They're like, take care of us. Take care of our wives.
Joe Biden won Tennessee. Oklahoma. North Carolina. Minnesota. Joe Biden leads 33-27 in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Colorado, Bernie Sanders is
Bernie.
ahead with
I'm
36% of the vote.
Bloomberg is second in Colorado.
That is surprising and disturbing.
Damn. You know, it's not fair. I was going to the grocery store today, and the little girls were selling the Samoas, the cookies, the Samoas. Do you think that maybe Bloomberg got that boost in American Samoa because he's sponsoring the Girl Scouts? He's making them wear his Bloomberg badges on their
badges?
Yeah, you know, they get their little patches.
We
their
don't need no
badges.
sticker badges.
The Girl Scouts all got a Bloomberg badge for promoting him, and so they go get them cookies, them Samoas, and I don't know, man. That could be complete bullshit from Billy the Fridge. Complete bullshit. California's coming in at 8. Does Washington do anything today?
No, Washington's a week from today.
Okay. If this is Super Tuesday, then what's next Tuesday?
Nothing, just another primary.
Baby Tuesday?
This is Super Tuesday because all of these states do it in one day.
Okay. And then next week we get Baby Dick Tuesday?
I mean, whatever. Just like all the other days before this. This isn't the first one. This is just the biggest.
The biggest caucus versus the baby.
I mean, some of these are caucuses.
Dictation.
You know, High Chief Peter Maivia was born in American Samoa.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, not a lot of them are these days. I would even wager that most Samoans are born in mainland at this point.
Well, I know San Francisco's a huge Samoan town.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a small island. Only 55,000 people live there. So, but yeah.
1937 was when he was born, so I would imagine it was.
But he died in Hawaii. He probably lived in Hawaii because it's close to Samoa. And actually, a lot of these old school Samoan wrestlers first got onto TV in Honolulu. And actually, the origin of Macho Man's "Oh yeah" came from a Samoan wrestler that used to say that.
He stole it from him?
Yeah, well,
He borrowed it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the bigger name? Who's the better wrestler, too?
Appropriation, Benjamin.
I don't know. Whatever. And by the way, to anyone who didn't know, that's The Rock's grandfather that we were just showing.
That was Rocky Maivia's grandpapa.
Yeah.
The grandpooba.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's grandfather.
Dwayne the Cock Johnson. Now we get into the more sinister and devious. We've gone from the oddities, the jovial oddities, and we're falling within the depths of the antagonists.
Oh.
Stop.
How's it going, guys? So here's a touchy subject that will touch a lot of
You
touches.
scare me every time I see
It will
him.
really touch the feelings of many feelers of many anthropomorphic insects. Anyways, I don't know why I'm trying to be funny here saying this shit, because I'm about to go hard on women.
He's about to go hard on women. Dude, you can just see what the back of his head looks like right here when he does this. Hold on.
Anthropomorphic insects. Anyways, I don't know why I'm trying to be funny here saying this shit, because I'm about to go hard on women.
He just takes scissors and clips the back of his. Oh, I see what's up. Okay, that's what's up.
This is kind of a
balding or
this is a bit of a probably a trash video towards women, but hopefully
This was during his Wolverine phase, where he had a Wolverine.
it's not. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but okay, ladies, this video is for you. Well, not necessarily. It's also for guys, but mostly for girls. If it's one thing men hate more so than anything, it's being friend zoned. Girls are.
Of course. I mean, but that happens and you have to deal with it. It's not like, oh, you can't friend zone me. You have to fuck me now.
Well,
it's like.
That's what I do with my guy friends.
Are very social.
Remember the elevator,
to me.
Benjamin?
Love in an elevator.
I call it the Ben zone.
There's no such thing as an introvert girl. I mean, there sort of is, but really it's not true. All girls are very social in one way or another. And they like to, hang out in groups and gossip. Whereas guys are naturally social too. I mean, human beings in general are social animals, but they're less social. They're more focused on hunting and gathering and things of that nature. My thoughts on friend zoning are basically this. Guys, don't make friends with girls. It's really that simple.
It's really that simple.
It's really
That's
that simple.
Not to say that you can't hang out with women. That's not to say that you can't talk to them. But because they're so social and because many of them
won't fuck you,
can be kind of cruel, it's really better to just don't even be friends with them. Because if you are, and if you like a girl, odds are, I mean, it's a 90% chance that girl is going to flake you off and just...
No. 90%, 99.9999% she's going to flake you off.
Yeah, the most action Jared Genesis gets is people pretending to be underage girls in his Discord.
Normally they're dudes, and then the times that they're not, they're like 30-year-old women just trying to catfish him to get him to do something incriminating.
Yeah, so don't take any sort of advice from Jared when it comes to the opposite sex or any type of sex. Matter of fact, just consider him a sex offender. For some reason, all the shit he's done that is criminal hasn't gotten him any real attention. So just mark him down as an offender of sexual varieties, because he definitely is. There's too many histories of him exposing himself to people he thinks are underage. That's fucked
You
up.
think that'd be prime pickings for Chris Hansen? Could
Chris-
it be that Jared just doesn't have enough clout?
Well, we're here today, and we're going to go into the depths of Jared Genesis. I went to his house, but the smell of his bedroom made me retreat, and now I'm cutting onions.
keep you in the friend zone. I know this because I've tried it several times with people online. There's a girl on here I'm not going to mention. She's been following me for a long time, and she's a really cool chick. But whenever I want to bring up, being a boyfriend to her, she either just ignores me or she lies to me and tells me that she has a boyfriend.
And that's how you know she's actually not a troll, because like the trolls will like reciprocate that immediately.
Also, no, this is not you, animal lover. Okay, I know you're probably watching this. I'm not talking about you. It's someone else.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
another.
had to
It's not the one that thinks I'm doing that. It's someone else.
say it to this other girl.
What an idiot.
And she seems like a really cool chick, and like I don't want that on my channel. If I'm interested in a girl, I don't want them telling me shit like that. And so unfortunately, that's why I don't either respond or I might even block them. And I'm sorry if you guys think I'm rude for saying that, but really, I don't want to be friends with, whether it's on the internet or in real life. I don't want that shit, homie. That's just not what I want as an alpha male. Be rejected like that, like I'm
It's
some
not what I
beta
want
male.
as an
That's
alpha
just not how
male.
I roll, dude. So in reality, most girls are very social. Most girls will reject you. Girls are very picky, and not to be mean or anything, but that's why a lot of them end up alone. It's because they're so picky. It's because they think, oh,
I wonder how many women end up alone compared to how many men end up alone. I really don't think that there's more women alone than men.
Some women end up alone later in life because men die
younger.
early. Yeah,
but that shouldn't count. 'cause
no,
they're
that
only
doesn't
alone.
count. Not by this standard that we're dealing with.
I'm talking about people who got who went through life without a partner that died on them, like someone who like just never had a partner through life, right? That's women end up alone because they live longer,
right?
That's I think there are more men that never had a long partner or a good relationship than there are women that didn't have a long partner or a good relationship. I could be wrong. Even in like their 30s, 40s, and 50s, women can just settle down with the lonely men out there because they still have a whole fucking new group to choose from. When they're young and at their best, They all fight over the same 10% of guys.
Right.
That's what studies show.
Yeah.
90% of guys are alone in their prime. And they get older, and the older a guy is, for some reason, his real estate goes up, probably because he has his shit together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's the key. And then they go after the younger girls, no Onision.
Is that like no homo now?
I guess. I don't know, dude.
Onision?
I don't know, dude.
I gotta go pee-pee.
While Ben goes pee-pee, I will play a game called I Spy. And I want the chat to follow my I Spy in this room. I spy with my little eye something that is red. I spy with my little eye something that is red. I will be looking at fan chat first, and then the other pleb chat. It's not Raphael's eye band, but that's what I was looking at first. There's a secondary red. I spy with my little eye something that is red. Not my bandana, it's orange. Not the doggy. Not the Rubbermaid tub. Not the used trampoline. I spy with my little eye something that is red. Not the shoebox. I spy with my little eye something that is red. Am I supposed to give another hint? Or am I... Hey, Jocular Jellyfish got it with the skateboard wheel. The skateboard wheel, Thick Soul, you were just behind. The skateboard wheel. I spy with my little eye the skateboard wheel on the bed. On the bed. All right, till Benjamin comes back. Until Benjamin comes back, we will play one more round. I'm sure he'll be back by then. Okay, let's go. There's so much trash here. I don't know what to. I don't even know exactly what it is. It's hard to pick something and identify what it is because there's so much amalgamated yuck. I spy with my little eye something that is orange. I spy something disgusting. I spy with my little eye something that is orange. Something that is orange. I spy with my little eye something that is orange. It's not the thing coming out of his dresser. It's not a basketball. I spy with my little eye something that is orange. A lotion bottle. Jocular Jellyfish said deodorant. I think it might be deodorant. I think it's the Arm & Hammer deodorant on top of the dresser, not the one hanging out of the dresser. I think that's deodorant. I think it might be a room deodorant. I think it might be like, because it looks too big for an armpit. Because there's a smaller deodorant hanging halfway out of the dresser drawer. And I think that stood out to me because that's a room deodorant. That means it stinks so much. He had to get something people put in the back of their refrigerator to eliminate odor. He had to get that to put it on his dresser to eliminate some of the stank. It's that food powder, foot powder. It's foot powder. Is that what it is? Arm & Hammer foot powder is powder. It's a stink. He probably pours that over the wet spots in his room. Hey-o, tech. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually read the Streamlabs right now because we can't play I Spy anymore in here. Everything is too messy. Too messy. It's tricky to wrap around. It's right on time. It's tricky. All right, so Tech says everyone should donate more in my stead. I would donate more, but I can't work. I have very limited money. I need to keep $210 until May to reinstate my license. Anyone who doesn't, I will find you and hurt you when I can drive again. Billy, you sexy boy. You a sexy boy. Thank you, Tech. Appreciate it. Squid says, Bernie may be old, but Biden acts senile. The whole chaos going on with the Democrats almost feels like watching a train wreck, and we're the passengers. At least we will get a few laughs along the way. Also, like the stream. Zero, or Cyro, I can't remember how it was pronounced, says, I don't get why Bernie is called a revolutionist. Nothing he has said has been radical. He hasn't said anything about drastic changes, or at least I haven't heard anything. Again, sorry for not donating a lot, and no historical figure name for this month. I appreciate your contributions and talking with us. Again, Eduardo Garcia came in with a nice big dono earlier, so did
Thank
PT
you.
Ham. Appreciate that, sweet boys. That Loch Ness Monster gave 350. Thank you, Loch Ness. That's a good gag. I like it. South Park is a sweet boy program. We also had some super chats today. Luca Blight 69 says Biden wins. Welcome 4 more years of Trump. Bernie wins. Duel of the Fates plays. Bernley Wan Kenobi versus Darth Trump. Yeah. Thank you guys for all the donations today, keeping us above the line.
You know, I don't have strong feelings for this guy, so I'm not even going to give him a chance. There's this animator by the name of Kadzun. I happen to really like her content, but she's very unfair in that regard. She made a video on the friend zone, and that's what she said. She said, well, if I don't have feelings for you, I can't force myself. Sweetheart, you don't have to force anything. Just give them a fucking chance.
That's forcing something. If she doesn't feel the need to give someone a chance, giving them a chance is forcing something.
You know, but girls, I guess they have that really, you know, Romeo and Juliet kind.
No, dude, well, maybe not you, because you'll take anything. But most people have a standard where they wouldn't. There's always someone they wouldn't. Okay? I mean,
kind of mentality to where they feel like, oh, you know, if this isn't the perfect man of my dreams, then I'm not even going to give him a chance. And I have to be honest, that's completely unfair and very irrational. It's hard to find a good guy out there, ladies.
And you are not one of them. You made videos, you want to fuck kids, dude. Come on.
If I have a spiritual connection, it doesn't matter if they're 8 years old or 80 years old.
Spiritual connection.
all know that. You know how hard it is to find a good guy. And the fact that many of you don't even give most men a chance is pathetic. And that's why you're all single. And really, I don't feel sorry for you. You know, I've known girls in my past who have even given me a chance, but still.
I'd like to meet them because I don't think he's lying here. I think maybe there was a couple girls at one chance that gave Jared
he used to work at the plant nursery. I bet you there's
tall guy.
There's
right?
probably a lot of women that go to the plant nursery to
and they're
work
like,
on their
the
plants.
tall guy. Maybe he's just maybe he's nice but just really dumb.
Well, he's the tall guy at the nursery. Like
Right.
you're probably giving most of your love to your plants because you don't have anybody else to give it to, right? Come on, man. Come on, they're garden types. They see a man in the garden department. They're like, he loves flowers. He loves flowers. They're wrong. It's a family business. He's just there because he gets fired anywhere else. But I
Because of
think he's a
stupid
sweet
reasons,
boy. He's
broke
not.
it off with me.
He's a stink boy.
And it's sad. It really is. I mean, it's just sad because, like I said, you know, these are the kinds of people who are going to end up alone with many cats. I'm sorry, but I had to throw that one in.
You got a bunch of cats at your house too. I've seen them in the videos.
I think cats are pretty chill.
I like cats. I'm allergic to them, so I can't live with them. But I like them.
I never had a cat of my own.
Yeah.
Don't. We got cats living with us at our house right now. They're really cool.
I get allergic when I go to your house.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool cats there.
Dude, the last time, can I tell you this crazy story?
Yeah.
The last time I was at your place, when you were out of town, I was hanging out with Joe.
Yeah.
I was having really bad allergies, so they gave me this allergy pill, and it fucking knocked me out.
Really?
And I fell asleep with a beer in my hand and spilled it in my lap, but I didn't realize this. I woke up thoughting I had pissed myself on your couch in your living room.
Joe like live streamed it, and he was like, "Only use me blade 2." Pissed himself on my couch.
Did he really do that?
No.
Yeah, because I would have heard about that by
Yeah.
now. But yeah, like I thought I had, but then I felt my underwear. My underwear was totally dry, so I'm like, it couldn't have been a piss for myself. And then I saw the beer can laying there, and I'm like, oh, dude, I like passed out and spilled a beer on myself. And then Seth tucked me into bed.
Yes, that's a sweet boy.
Well, I heard Joe be like, Seth, tuck Ben into bed. Seth's like your butler.
Yeah.
He's like your butler at your house.
He's our butler buddy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have butt buddies. We have butler buddies.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I just remember him and his red beard being like, good night, Ben. Tucking me into bed.
He's actually part Oompa Loompa.
It's very sweet.
He's half Oompa Loompa.
There
on
too.
his dad's side.
I like cats myself, but these people that's going to be their only companions are felines because they do this shit. So
Yeah, as opposed to your dirty ass Ninja Turtle collection. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
You can't tell somebody they're going to be lonely when you are the poster child for loneliness.
anyways, guys, that's all I really had to say on this video. I could go on Plenty of Fish and I could troll girls there, and
Yeah, and you shouldn't be doing that. I think Plenty of Fish should ban you because you've harassed women and called them ugly and harassed them based on their race, too, which is really fucked up. They should ban you for life from their website because you're a predator anyway. But, I mean, just you harassing people and trolling on there should get you banned anyway, let alone all the dumb shit you've done.
We should be able to troll all the time, anywhere, with no restraint, anonymously using our anime avatars if we want to. Okay? Because we could never have this sort of power in real life face-to-face with people. So we have to find this power online to be abusive. Because we don't have the guts to be abusive in real life. Okay? This is our only outlet to be abusive,
Jared's such
worthless
a piece
pieces of shit.
I hate him.
I don't hate
You know,
him.
the last time I was on EFAP, I talked about Jared on there, and I think I forgot that was like a rule there. But they didn't say anything to me. They like started talking to me about it. The last time I was on EFAP, I was drunk as fuck, and they let me on there for like a couple hours. and it
Hello,
was-
my sweet boys. Will you tell my cat Dash he's an adorable little demon? He enjoys
Dash.
biting people on the nose and clawing people's hands, then purring and
Dash.
cuddle on his victims' laps.
Ooh, you're a beautiful little demon, Dash.
Adorable little
I love the guys from EFAP. They're great, though.
Yeah.
That's a great show, and everyone that isn't aware of it should check it out. We'll probably get those guys back on. They're really busy, but I can, once every, few months.
Their shows are like 12 hours apiece.
Yeah, how the fuck do they do that? That's like a special episode for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I admire the stamina of the young men.
How many episodes do they do a week?
I don't know.
Yeah.
make a video
We
about
just
that.
spread
but
ours out.
Really, I have no desire to, because I see just how unfortunately brainwashed women have become, and it's just very sad to me.
Brainwashed what? To not want to fuck you? That's not brainwashing. That's just you.
They've been
His drum set's pathetic
They're
at this point.
brainwashed, but he's unwashed.
Have you noticed there's been a few times where he's had like a pretty epic drum set behind him, but this is the most pathetic drum set I've seen him have.
Brainwashed by society to think that if this man isn't perfect, then he's not worth my time. This is their way of brainwashing women to make them be with certain kind of males, to be with the males that you don't even want to be with, basically. Like I said before, guys, the alpha is kind of a dead thing. The alpha male is no longer really accepted in society.
You're not an alpha male,
People
dude.
often link the alpha male to the white male. If you watch a lot of commercials, it's always the white alpha male that's being ostracized and insulted, and made to look as a fool. And it's just
You're
a
not
really
even
sad
Alf. Yeah. You're not even from Melmac.
Sparta
thing, because I can promise you,
300.
ladies,
Thank you, Eduardo.
the alpha male is the kind of male that you want. You don't.
Attraction is discriminatory. You like what you like, you don't like what you don't like. You're not, there might be some times where you sacrifice a little bit aesthetically for someone who you really think is a good person that you really like. you'll do that. But you won't drop that. No one will drop that totally. Well, not no one. People who like marry a billionaire because they're super rich or whatever, like that. But most people.
There's always lowered expectations going around depending on where you're at in your life. You know, it's not just you don't have a standard and you stick to it all the time. It's a
Jared is
scale.
nobody's like you can lower your standard and he's below that.
I bet you there's a whole group of women out there who have head injuries.
Like the kind of like the kind of women that wanted to fuck Elliot Rodger later on, or like,
I think Elliot Rodger has more sex appeal than Jared.
Wow. I think Elliot Rodger was a total virgin too, and Jared's at least got laid a couple times in his life.
It's
I want a beta male. Okay,
I've heard that Jared probably damaged his brain doing weird ass shit too. Like, I knew a guy who got close to Jared at one point that told me that Jared huffed gas and shit like that at one point, which will give you, even getting high off of huffing gas once will give you brain damage.
Never huff a gas, not even once.
Don't
Drunken
huff
peasants.
gasoline. Don't huff paint thinner.
Don't do a gas.
Beta males do not make good lovers. I'm sorry, but they don't. Anyways, guys, there's my video for you. Tell me what you think. You know, do you agree? Do you disagree? But yeah, I do not make friends with women anymore for that simple reason. It's because most of them will friend zone you.
Maybe he did, like, maybe he damaged his brain doing drugs in his early 20s or something. I don't know.
In a very unfair
If you watch his older videos, he does seem a lot smarter at one point.
ways.
So I don't know.
It's not just the fact that they don't like you. I feel that many women are very judgmental too. They will judge you for stupid reasons that are just very insignificant and silly, and I don't have time for that. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching.
This guy
my
doesn't
video.
have
Take
time for things, yet he has no time to clean his room, no time to wash his body or his clothes, no time to, I assume, play those drums that are always back there. I never see him play the fucking drums. But he has all the time in the world to complain about everything online and make hour-long shit videos picking his butt and or nose. But he's got no time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Michael Anderson Show. It's your host with the most, Michael Anderson. I'm here to talk at you, and today I want to talk about something really quick, and I know I don't talk about these kind of subjects that much, but I want to give a different take on the entire, like, transgenderism, transitioning sort of thing, and this idea that it's being propped up by politicians, it's being propped up by institutions, and so on and so forth, right? And I think I have a different perspective on this than a lot of people might. So I was watching a Sargon of Akkad video, and he was talking about how in the UK, over a third of the people that are recommended to go in for transitions are autistic. Now, again, we have to stop operating under this notion that the people who are proposing these ideas, who are fundamentally orchestrating these things and institutionalizing them, are, number one, stupid. They're not. The people who institutionalize this stuff are not stupid. Number two, they don't understand cause and effect. They do. This is the whole thing. This idea, like,
what's up with his ears?
This is one of the things that with George Bush,
his ears seem low on his head and weird, like almost elf shaped.
Is it just the angle of the camera he's in? He's got his head tilted back
Example,
and the camera coming down.
The media portrayed George Bush as stupid, which is, you know, there's this saying, and I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but it's better to be perceived of as stupid or ignorant than it is to be perceived of as evil, right? So George Bush was able to dumb down the criticism surrounding his policies by just kind of coming across as hunky-dory and stupid, when in fact he's extremely intelligent, very smart, very calculating, right? And so the people who are institutionalizing these things, they understand that. And here's what I think. I think that this entire thing, this transgenderism, transitioning a boy to a girl, this is not about, you know...
Does he play racquetball?
Probably.
Or is it tennis? It's one or the other.
different genders or anything like that. What this is, and maybe initially it was, but here's what I think. I think that the people that are institutionalizing this, governments for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, have sterilized the mentally infirm. Today it is politically incorrect. I hate that term, but it is not right, I guess. We consider it a violation of human rights for people to be sterilized for being mentally ill. People with mental illnesses are a large burden on the government. The government understands this. People who institutionalize this understand this. What I think is, I think that this entire thing.
Let's examine the background here.
Yeah, just a guy who wants to get laid, but is a repulsive human being in an area where repulsive human beings are.
Yeah, because like he's not bad looking in the grand scheme of things.
But he's in Portland. Like all the human beings there are like, no.
A way for governments to legitimize the sterilization of the mentally ill. That's it. That's all it is. It's not communism. It's not, social justice, right? This is about sterilizing people who are a financial burden on the state. And unfortunately, a lot of really stupid children will be in harm's way. I mean, you look at the population, look at how many fucking stupid people they are. Like, what if there is, now think about this, like someone getting confused about their gender? I mean, what if this is like gaslighting the public to try to weed out the semi-mentally infirm and sterilize them? Now, again, I'm not saying I necessarily have a problem with people who are violent, sociopath being sterilized. I don't think so. I don't really have a problem.
Why? I mean, like, I don't think we should force sterilization on anyone, because once you set a precedent that people they're going to start, eventually down the line, people will start force sterilizing a certain type of people they don't like anymore. And that's a big deal. That's a big problem, because it could be applied to anyone. That's why I'm against capital punishment too. Like, I think, we're a little. I start to notice a trend between everyone. We're putting to death, that the government puts to death, and it's okay. So that's how I feel about it.
Why force sterilization when you can just supply the optics to make people sterilize themselves? It's super smart. We don't have to force it anymore.
Well, sterilizing, like full sterilization, no one's doing that to themselves.
Oh. Okay.
Temporary sterilization is good, though.
With people like that not being allowed to contribute to the gene pool, right? I don't. Like, it's whatever. But you look at these people who are the people who are most likely candidates for, transgenderism. All of them are mentally ill, every single one.
That's only if you define being transgender as mental illness, because, no, they're not all.
You just look at the scientific studies on everything. It's transgenderism. There's definitely some mental illness in it, and there's definitely some scientifically proven.
There's mental illness in everyone, exactly, if you want to do that.
But science is on the side of transgenderism. Like, people who disagree with that are.
This guy.
They're getting old science. They're getting old data.
I think this is a way for governments to legitimize it, to be able to promote it and to talk about it, and to target vulnerable groups of people and to sterilize them without having any questions from the general public, without having any criticism at all, and be able to even mask it under the guise of being altruistic, right? Being helpful, being open-minded, right? This is what it is. These people are not dumb. They don't. This is one way that you can really clear your mind. I've talked about this before, about understanding how shit works, is by understanding that the system really doesn't. Not only do they not care about you, but efficiency is important to them. Money's important to them. Power is important to them. Self-preservation, so preservation of power and the institutions at large are important. I would say in some sense, preservations of certain institutions are important. Don't get me wrong. But do you think they want to be taking money out of our budget to be paying for the mental health problems of these people? No. We probably spend billions of dollars a year on that stuff. It's a great way to kill off certain segments of the population. If we can sterilize a couple of million people who are burdens, not only will we save a lot more money, but probably be better social cohesion in a way if we stop having these rambling lunatics. And the left that's promoting this doesn't even understand what they're doing. It's hilarious. I just want to talk about that, my take on it. I don't think it's communism. I think communists would use this, of course, as a tool to sterilize people because that's what communists do. But hey,
why do you need sterilization? Like the left is already waiting until they're too old to have kids to have kids. Like the left is already going pretty forward with the non-breeder movement. You don't need to sterilize. Like it sucks that the only people fucking right now are red state underage children that can't go to abortion clinics.
Or there. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I did pull this up. I challenge all of you. Name one item in this room. One actual item. Don't do carpet. But one item, one thing that you see in this. Name a clear, solitary item in this room.
Was this like a computer-generated image of a room?
This is something
a real room?
Hannibal and Monty posted this on their Instagram. And it's at Hoodville.
I spy with my little eye absolutely nothing.
Right, you see a lot of things. You see a whole bunch of things, but you cannot identify one of them.
Yeah, this is very special.
Isn't that weird?
I feel like it's a computer-generated image of a room.
This is a photo of a room.
It's like what an AI thought a room should look like. So they just put this together.
It's a room full of shit, but not one thing you can name.
AI made this.
No.
There's no
Someone
way
said
this
a
is...
chair. Okay, where's the chair?
Yeah, where is the chair?
Yeah, I don't see a chair.
I really think this is an AI that created this. There's no discernible object.
So it's an AI, like
because you know
that's
how
a
the
dumb...
AIs build pictures based off of like, you know how they will write stories and create things. Like somebody told an AI to create a picture of a room, right? Based off the information of amalgamated pictures of rooms, and they're like, here, this is a room. This is a bedroom. Yeah, I don't know, man. You think it's a beanie, right? You think it's a ski mask or something, but then you're like, maybe it's just somebody knitted a pumpkin warmer. This doesn't make sense at all.
A pumpkin warmer.
Yeah, it's a pumpkin warmer to keep your pumpkins warm. Yeah, Sticky thinks it's an AI too. Like when it tried to make a bunch of animals and everything look like a bad trip of animal parts. Exactly.
Man, this has been a brutal winter. It was so cold in Daytona Beach last night, I had to get up and close the windows. All right, now that I'm done griping, welcome to Coffee with Bill. And we have good news for American children today. The blasphemous, Bible-waving sexual pervert has dropped out of the race. And you guys know who I'm talking about.
Who could it be, wild, mild Bill?
Well, the Bernie Bros are in the news. They are a gang of screaming, filthy-mouthed young punk thugs that viciously go after opponents of Bernie Sanders. History shows that this is what totalitarians do. Hey, you know what?
As opposed to the fucking R. Donald people that were young, obnoxious, that went after people who opposed. Like, here's the thing. It's what young people do when they're passionate about something that they feel righteous about, because they're not old enough to realize that, you know, they're lashing out against other people with ideas that are different than theirs.
Hitler
you're wrong. You're Nazi. You're a cuck. You're fucking SJW snowflake.
His brown shirts who did the same thing. So Bernie has to have his Bernie Bros. Well, they're even going after Democrats who aren't radical enough. Democrat candidate Betsy Londrigan in Illinois was surrounded by Bernie Bros as she tried to leave a campaign event. They screamed, "Block her in! Block her in!" and then terrorized her, demanding that she debate Stephanie Smith, another Bernie Sanders-style totalitarian radical. And that would give the evil Stephanie Smith more publicity to help her get elected. Ms. Londrigan said she was scared to death of those savages. Well, Ms. Londrigan, maybe you should get out of the Democrat Party. You know, the politics of terrorizing Americans for votes is on the rise in the USA. Antifa, which is anti-First Amendment. We got Black Lives Matters and their assassinations. And now the Bernie Bros, which means the American patriots need to mobilize and shut these monsters down before they really do lead this nation down the Nazi road. Joe Biden has been kissing up to black voters by claiming on several campaign stops that he was arrested in South Africa during the apartheid years.
Okay.
Well, the other day, Joe had to admit once again that he was lying. Yeah, this is the guy the Democrats want to be the head of their party. Ooh, the climate change crisis has been solved.
I like his water cooler, though. But he only has one cup.
Because he reuses it, yeah.
Science has shown that the most effective way to combat rising CO2 levels is to simply plant trees. And guess who's taken the lead? The Trump administration is pushing the Trillion Trees Act to plant 1 trillion trees all around the world. And many environmental groups are hailing it. But surprise, surprise, the Democrats hate it. They're fighting against it because, tell you the truth, reducing CO2 is not their goal. CO2 emissions is their excuse that they use to destroy the fossil fuel industry. And if a simple thing like planting trees solves the problem, that would torpedo their plans to push the USA over the socialist cliff. You know, 90% of environmental issues are nothing but political radicalism to advance
totalitarianism.
Environmental issues are nothing but political.
Yeah.
There are a whole lot of films that are based on reality from corporations dumping sludge, garbage, toxic waste into communities that give the communities crazy levels of cancer, things like that, where we are supposed to protect our country, our people of our country, and what do they get? They get like fined for less than they made off of the dumping, right? Like they made more money by dumping it, and they get fined, and they continue to operate, and nobody gives a shit. If it was only those cases that we were looking out for, and we were making murderers out of these companies that actually gave people cancer and put them in early graves because of some actual toxic dumping, if it was only that, then it would be worth the environmental administration being funded and given power to take out people who are actually killing people. But it's not just that. There's all types of other shit. You look at China and what they're going through with their advancement of pouring more concrete in the last 30 years than the United States has poured in the last 150 years, and dumping all their shit back into the world. And look what they're going through. Their skies are fucking smog filled, right?
Right.
It's not good. And we are seeing it happen in front of our faces in slow time, but time is not now. Time is 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now. And if we don't put a limiter on this shit, greed will take over and it will cut every possible corner it can because it doesn't give a fuck about the future. As long as they're rich now, they will inhabit Mars when the rest of the world burns down. They'll find a way to thrive and survive, or they'll die with us with tons of fucking money on a yacht. They don't give a shit about the small fucking local community that's now catching advanced cancer because they're dumping barrels of shit into a fucking muck swamp, and the cows are rotting out from the insides.
Yeah.
But no, it's, you know, it's a fucking meth. It's a meth.
Rule in the USA. James Dobson is taking the U.S. Senate to task because while they voted to make animal cruelty a federal crime, they refused to pass a measure to protect the lives of children who survive an abortion attempt. The vote was strictly along party lines. You know, there's only one word for such bloodthirsty politics, and that is Nazism.
You know, I'm tired of the left calling us Nazis. You know what I'm going to do?
Call them Nazis.
Nanny, nanny, boo-boo. Stick to you like glue. I throw it back. Whatever you say, bounces off me, sticks to you, rubber.
I say it loud and clear. The Democrat Party is the reincarnation of the Nazi Party. Seriously, Planned Parenthood has killed 10 times more people than Hitler did in his concentration camps. And following the Hitler model, the Democrats are hell-bent on disarming the American people. They have near total control of the press, who churn out political propaganda 7 days a week. Hitler's brown shirts were in the streets, beating people bloody, and now we have left-wing thugs doing the same thing. The Democrats' hatred of Christianity and Israel parallels Hitler's hatred of the Jews. And Hitler said, "Give me one generation of children and I will rule the world." Democrats.
Who's Antifa's leader? Who's Antifa's leader?
There's no definable leader.
So it's pretty much just the same militant punks that existed forever in America?
Right.
And under different names?
Before Antifa, it was ARA, Anti-Racist Action. Same general group.
Turned our schools into left-wing propaganda centers, and just like the Nazi regime, worshiping sexual perversion is a top priority. Whoop-de-doo. The Democrats passed a law against animal cruelty. Well, guess who once cried when he saw a puppy get kicked? Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I want to tell you, guess who cried like a little bitch when they saw a puppy get kicked? Yep, Adolf Hitler. You know what? I didn't cry. I didn't cry while I was personally kicking all the puppies. Because I'm not a little bitch like Adolf Hitler.
AOC, the bug-eyed little Democrat woman from New York City, gave a speech condemning the use of the Bible to oppose homosexuality. She called it weaponizing scripture in the name of bigotry and discrimination. Hey, AOC, if you want a story about discrimination against homosexuals, read the Sodom and Gomorrah story in Genesis, I think chapter 19. She has clearly not read what God says about sexual sin. Or being...
Wasn't there all sorts of sexual sin there? Like, you can't just focus out the homosexuals, which seem to find their way into the Republican Party or the Catholic Church or pretty much every fucking where. You can't just say, you know, it's on one group of people who are freely enjoying consensual sex as adults. But I don't know. Maybe Bill's right. Maybe we should stop people from doing butt stuff as a consenting adult so we can hide it like we have been for the last 150,000 years.
A Democrat, she just doesn't care what God says. Sexual perversion is becoming a terrible threat to the well-being of our children, families, society, and it is shameful that our own government is pushing such nonsense on all of us and deliberately targeting the children to lure them into a lifestyle of disease, depression, and often suicide. Apparently the Democrats think that that is preferable to teaching children to know God and to live in decent lives with...
decent lives under the oppression of somebody who controls you and makes you hide the fact that you were abused. We have a history of that, in not just Catholicism. It's historic. It's historic in all the anywhere there is corruption, there's hidden abuse. I think having the healthy options out there publicly will allow people who have those thoughts to follow them safely. And not be stuck having thoughts and then talking to your priest who happens to be a fucking sicko when you go to confessional. And you say, yeah, no, I thought about being in the shower with a man. Oh, well, let me tell you, little boy. I know where to get you some special rosary beads. That's a problem. But Wild Bill just wants to go back to the days it used to be, the good old days, when we had, instead of being caught for your sins that were actually sins, the church would just relocate you. It's fine. Trust in God, because God always protects us. God always provides.
Moral standards. Don't get me started. You know, this is why I will never stop proclaiming the message of the cross as loud as I can. And I won't stop until God takes me home. Or until...
I like to think that he was just sucking fucking invisible God dick, but I hope it was coronavirus instead.
The Democrats put me in one of their guillotines. Did you see that story? A Democrat candidate for Congress has adopted the guillotine as their symbol, saying that, get this, it represents the work that they need to do. That candidate is a transgender, by the way. And now for the most outrageous...
American Nightmare says they just called California for Bernie. So that's pretty cool. I wonder by how much.
Let's go check out
those
numbers.
I'll tell you what, Wild Bill
is
sucks.
trash.
Hate him. Not a fan. Yeah, Bill for COVID-19. Wild Bill COVID-19. Well, looks like Bernie got...
It's called, but there's no stats here.
Hit that refresh, right?
I did.
I wonder if we just got trolled.
No, it's calling it for him. It says Bernie Sanders won.
With 50... No, that's 415 delegates available. That's a whole lot. Damn. Dude, if Bernie won California, it means he gets half the delegates or no? Like, I want to see the numbers on that. Let's see young Bern Daddy.
Let's see here.
Bernie's supporters act just like the Nazi Party. Well, I think we might be wrong. Alabama with a banjo on his knee.
They're not giving numbers yet officially on here.
It's 8:07 p.m. They said it would start coming in at 8 o'clock, right?
Yes.
We must see some of this before too long. It must come through. I love how Bloomberg has a damn American Samoa right there. He's just right there, like, what's up? I'm chilling. I won.
Yep.
I won.
49%, and then Tulsi got 30.
So that gave Tulsi 1, but there's six delegates available from American Samoa. Who gets that other 1?
I don't know.
Do they just burn a delegate?
What do they do with people who end up leaving the race?
Klobuchar. Bernie's got 162 right now before California's counted. That's going to be pretty fucking sweet for Bernie, right? He's down 11
Hopefully
points
he
to
wins
Biden.
them all. We'll see how long it lasts and how long and drawn out it is.
By
but
combat.
Right now, we are going to do a live Q&A. Here we go.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Fire away in the fan chat. we will try our best to answer them. I'm going to pour a beer while you start.
Pour a beer. Ben, how was the dentist?
Painful. But I've still never had a cavity. You know, I'm coming up on 39 years old, and I've never had a cavity in my life. Never had any major dental problems, so that's good.
Ayo. Ayo. This is Sparta. Are we ready for a repeat of 2016? I mean, I called it in 2016.
What, that this would happen here?
No, not that this would happen here, that Trump was going to win.
Oh.
There was like...
I thought you said you didn't think he had any chance of winning.
Well, until he won, and then I took back and I looked what was really going on. I thought that they had everything. I thought the reason Bernie got screwed was because they just had a lock-in for Hillary, and they were going to give it to her anyways. And I thought they were running with Trump because they had nobody else. So, like, why not give it to the guy with all the money to run on his own platform and not waste the Republican National Committee's money going up against the juggernaut Hillary?
Right.
And then when everything fell into place, I was like, holy shit, Trump won. I would have never bet on Trump winning. South Park, who always makes 2 episodes when there's an election so they can have either outcome covered, only made one for Hillary and had to make the Trump episode super last minute. Like, that says a lot for how sure people were Hillary was going to win. And you look back then, and I'm like, dude, if we don't have a front runner, a young front runner right now, I don't see somebody beating Trump. I don't see Bernie coming back after what he went through. I talked to a friend of mine last night at the supermarket who, he was a Bernie supporter in 2016. Now he's a little more MAGA hat, a little more red,
Really?
little more red hat.
He wears a MAGA hat?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
but he's a little more thinking that way. And he's like, I liked Bernie then, but he stepped down for Hillary, and I just can't.
That was a
I
bad
just can't
move.
ride for somebody
That
who
was a
would
bad
step
look.
down like that.
Yep.
It's like I can't. He's like, I just can't follow that. Let's see. Why do I spend so much money on gotcha games? Well, they're designed to get your money. Gotcha. Bernie could because he knew he would get screwed over, so he won't. He is too honest. Honest Bernie. He has a career of being that guy. He's out there talking to like all the soldiers that come back that need to be reintegrated into society, really seeing what they really need. He's out there talking to actual people. Fuck, wouldn't that be cool if we had a president like Bernie who actually cared
Maybe
about people? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'd just be a pushover. And Putin would come over all the time, hitting him up for fucking cookies.
we thought Obama would do so much, and when he got in, he had control of both the House and the Senate, and really didn't do much.
Well, what I'm going to do is introduce Obamacare, which is basically the exact Republican plan that was proposed 10 years earlier.
Exactly.
But I'm going to call it Obamacare, so you're going to get this Republican plan and like it, because it's under the brand of Obama. It's like when Budweiser purchased Stella Artois.
Stella Artois. Delicious beer, by the way.
From Budweiser.
So it was originally a Belgian beer company.
Yeah.
I'm having, I don't know if it's Lef or Leffe. Lef or Leffe? Someone tell me.
Left, right,
or Leffe. How would you say it?
Leffe.
Leffe?
Leffe.
Leffe?
Leaf.
Leffe?
Leffe.
Leffe?
Leffe.
Leffe?
Leffe. 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 We've got numbers on California, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, let's pull them up.
Leffe. 1% reported. California. As we look at the numbers, ladies and gentlemen, we've found out Bernie.
Bloomberg number 1.
What? Well, all those points we thought we were going to give to Bernie Sanders.
This must be delayed or something.
It's 1% reported.
It's calling it for Bernie, but reporting Bloomberg in first place.
Well, Bernie wins. By way of Bloomberg.
By the way, the beer is not from France. It's from Belgium, which is kind of close, but...
There's a place in France where the naked ladies dance. Marianne Williamson got 25 votes. Andrew Yang got 74.
Why?
Yang Gang. Damn.
Marianne
Tulsi got
Williamson.
88. I got 25. Julian Castro got some votes. Cory Booker stayed through, got 13 votes. Where
All these
is
people.
where's
Who the fuck is this person? Moisey Boyd?
I'm Moisey Boyd. 2 people voted
Moisey Boyd.
So right now, if we would have been in the first 1% and 3 people voted for Puking Dog, it would have came up over them.
True Grit.
I'm Moisey Boyd. I got True Grit. Rebuilding patriotism by uniting Americans around our shared values.
Believe in
America with hearts, y'all. We got hearts, y'all. We love the hearts.
Oh,
Not
shit.
a
I
troll.
didn't have one of those.
Damn it. That was the troll, not a troll, was a troll.
I trolled you with a troll or not a troll.
You're always taking advantage of my sweet boy nature.
Feminist. Slam poetry. Hissing. Screeching. Squawking. Fuck you to all the men. I am blaming you.
It's your responsibility to always listen and laugh. I only notice my hand is sliced open after the cup is empty. It's my responsibility for me to explain my own joke. I am at home, drinking in the dark, with a newly formed smile in my palm, and I only notice my hand is sliced open after the cup is empty. It's comforting in a way, to know alone I can still make myself laugh. I am home, with a newly formed smile in my palm.
A newly formed smile.
Did she get drunk and try and cut
in
an
her
avocado?
palm.
Sounds like she got drunk and tried to cut an avocado. This is a feminist slam poetry against avocado toast while drinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all I have in my belly anyway. And it's comforting in a way to know alone I could still make myself laugh. A chuckle for the person who blinks and can't remember how small my body is. That's all that I have in this belly anyway. I haven't eaten yet. It hasn't been put into my schedule. A chuckle for the person who blinks and can't remember how small my body is. If only I can keep a happy expression in my fist. I haven't eaten yet. It hasn't been put in my...
I haven't eaten yet.
Is she
keeps saying
really
that.
talking about making avocado toast and she was drunk so she cut her hand
I haven't
open?
eaten yet.
It sounds like she cut her hand making avocado
I was trying
toast.
to cut the seed out of an avocado, but I put a new smile in the palm of my hand.
I really feel like this is a hate poem towards avocados.
Schedule. For once, I can decide on my own when I want to share my smile. If only I can keep the expression in my fist. It's my responsibility to explain my own joke. For once, I can decide my own when I want to share the smile. And it will always be your responsibility to listen and laugh.
That was it? I don't get it.
Trash.
I don't get it. It must be next level because I don't get it. Somebody want
In
to
the
explain
Asian
that?
market, there's always ready-to-eat sweet mangoes sitting side by side with lychee fruit. Always fish chips, soy sauce, and spicy dried octopus. Always an array of mint greens and onions.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But they don't have avocados in the Asian market.
Why do feminists hate avocados?
Always the smell of dead fish and live fish and buckets of crabs and old people. The foul
She's ageist.
smell smacks me dead in the face. This is nothing, they say. What's foul is the Agent Orange that stacked up bodies outside childhood homes. This is
Whoa, it went dark.
Wow.
nothing. Death means nothing unless you make it, and we don't make it. We won't ever make it.
They're
Maybe this
really
is-
trying to shit on food. Like these feminists are going against cuisine and culture. They're like, fuck you putting us in the kitchen. We're going to make it so you don't even want to eat anymore.
Why it's normal to greet each other with cutting knives as handshakes. In the long lines and bustling heads fighting over carrots, over the dead roast ducks, over the smelliest fish, always fighting over a carcass to honor the dead. The war is over, yet why is there still chaos?
I don't want her as my waitress serving me Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah.
Yes. I wonder if my aunts and uncles really speak to each other anymore because the taste of death has dried their mouths. Mom snatches the carrots out of another woman's hand. She looks just like her. Short burgundy dyed hair could be her sister, and she is. Not only was there a north and south divide, there was a splitting of families. I guess witnessing childhood friends leaving life for death does that to a person, but a person turns into a people real quick. Families become enemies. There's a north and south easily found in the kitchen. Mom says, this is how you make it. Add the carrots in first, let it boil, then Aunt
Carrots are delicious.
Retaliate says, no, this is how you make it. Add the carrots in first, then all I hear are many ways of making one dish. All I hear are many ways of not trusting one who is your own. There are stories shared without talking. Floods our mouths with the South China Sea. They do not cook to fill our hunger. They cook to fill theirs. Each bite reminders of the night spent near dumpsters. I wonder if my parents never learned to teach us kids the words love or trust because they were taught how foreign and dangerous they were. Like how they loved and trusted the very people that looked like them just to wake up to a blood sunrise on their front porch. In 1955, they still wake up to a cataclysm of red ingrained in the memory. Still wake
I don't know.
up to the bottoms of
I want to go back to the fresh lychee. Is that okay? We can't do that though. We have to suffer. Damn it.
the brown boats as shields. Still wake up to the sounds of collapsing bodies, and maybe there won't ever be healing.
She got color coordination with the hat and shirt, though.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one.
Ben.
Okay, go ahead.
What about the lychees?
But here, in the Asian market, in the midst of chaotic shouting, the snatching of vegetables and sweaty bodies grazing each other, here is where we allow intimacy.
Are people fucking in the Asian market?
I thought it was fish that we were smelling. Is it just dirty old people sex?
Here,
damn it,
there are no borders or boundaries. Here is where we remember the dead.
At the market?
Living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes at the market. Remember the dead at the market.
Flea market, Montgomery. It's just like a genocide. What?
You are not a firearm in the hands of an unlicensed carrier. You are not 20 miles over the speed limit, not underage drinking or vandalism, neither theft nor robbery. You are not illegal. You are human. You are a soul connected to a sore skin, connected to bones that are weary from working 10 times harder while getting paid 90% less. You are your grandmother's favorite child, your lover's favorite kiss, the suicide note that your parents carried across the borders on their backs. You are in coffins in Arlington's National Cemetery. You are running into burning buildings, risking your life to save people who want you dead. You are the true definition of grace. You are making below minimum wage, barely surviving, yet still sending money back home to your
you should be making below minimum wage. If you're here and making below minimum wage, you need to tell somebody.
Unless you live in one of those states where they take your tips into account. But if you don't
that's
make the
still
tips,
minimum wage, technically.
family. You are a healer. You are a provider. You are coming home every night with tired hands, achy feet, and still reading your children bedtime stories in a language that you've been hiding in your throat all day. You are the great in America. You are more American than the American president. You are not a job or a status or a service or a resident. You are not a bill being passed on the House floor in the middle of the night. You are flesh. You are.
You know, a lot of people that make below minimum wage make more because they don't pay into the taxes and stuff. So they might make less hourly, but like their take home is more.
Yeah.
Because they're not part of the system.
You are bones, you are
that's an
feelings,
interesting thing
you
to-
are more
to
than
look at.
America's housekeepers, you are the house, you are the structure, and if you are forced to leave, you be the flames, you burn it down, and you write your family's name in the ashes. Thank you.
She never really said anything, and there was a lot of, I hate those breaths.
She was talking about all the immigrants that come here and work for
fuck that
under the system, Benjamin, and how they don't have a lot.
So this poem right here, this poem is for dark-skinned niggas.
Oh, I can't listen to this, Ben.
And so, I got a lot of reason to believe that I'm the darkest nigga in my family.
Oh.
They made sure I knew that.
Oh.
Had all the nicknames, darkness, midnight, shit like that. I heard all the jokes. It may not have always looked like I heard you, but I heard you. And the thing about being dark-skinned is that everyone thinks I'm so good at playing hide and seek.
Oh.
I'm not going to make a joke about that. I almost did.
Seeks to see teeth peek out the void, smile, my nigga. Not so they can see you, but so finding joy in darkness is no longer a metaphor for survival. Do you know what that means? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm talking about joy in dark skin. These niggas love to compare death and demise to darkness until they see us unchecked, alive, breathing. Still the air, still the trees that hold this all together, and aren't trees made for breathing? Ain't it the soil what pushed a wounded God from the ground? The irony is, the tree still kills us black folk. Almost as often as the soil we coat our skin in is used to plant them, and so I'd like to consider this a coconut oil confession. I've laid in the soil in hopes of growing into my melanin. But I've heard niggas say they seen niggas do dirt and then become it. So my niggas be the brightest niggas with darker futures.
I would like to hear you read the transcript of this.
Oh.
In the plots of land America plots that graves on this tark was taught to age quickly. Cause that white man gonna say, yo, age different. Dark skinned niggas be old for their age. Get told they look at least. So each officer that treats my skin like a midlife crisis is gonna say, you there.
You there?
Boy. How you gonna have skin the color of galaxies if nothing can survive in a vacuum?
He's getting so deep.
And my niggas will treat the space between us like a solar system. Look up to the sun and say, we black. We a starless sky. When was the last time a galaxy owed an answer to anybody?
Word. Yeah, I don't know.
A galaxy? We live in a galaxy.
These are all
man.
like I don't know, a little. They're not the type of feminist poetry that is like so blatantly man-hating that we can make commentary on them.
You're afraid to, dude.
What the fuck is the commentary
there's
here?
One thing you're afraid to criticize.
What? Where's the criticism? It's like we're so deep, we're extra deep, we're the deepest of deep. By the way, I had avocado and it cut my hand. By the way, I go to the Asian market and it stinks like fish, but you can't say that because people died. By the way, my family picks on me for my dark skin. By the way, this is just me having an expression of my personal experience with other people who are just as fucking
horrible.
worked up inside their own self-absorbed worlds that they want to listen to me so they can get their turn next to talk at the microphone and tell their story that they'll get little finger snaps for in the crowd, and nobody will really care about them because nobody really cares about what anybody else is saying. They're just waiting for their time to talk, and that's why I talk over Benjamin on the Drunken Peasants, because he's waiting to cut me off, and all he can ever do is cut my microphone because he can't cut my wrist. Benjamin, you can't cut my avocado.
All right.
So Egghead keeps spamming that Biden won Texas.
Fucking Egghead. I mean, like, come on, buddy. What do you got?
What do you got, Egghead? Super Tuesday, live results. Bernie Sanders leads 20 28 to 27.5. Biden's 13 down. Damn, with 39% reported. Is there a better site with better update than this?
Let's see.
I don't really know. Though. I should go to feminist slam poetries and just like start off super femmy and then end it with me being like, I shat my pants on the bus today. They'd be like, what?
Texas, they are soft giving it to Bernie at this point.
I'm giving it to Bernie soft. 33.6% for Maine, for both Bernie and Biden, and they're giving it to Biden with both 30.6%.
California, very good. Very good. A lot of these states don't have a lot of delegates, but they add up. That's part of the problem.
Well, if you're going to say someone's part of the problem, you got to look at Elizabeth Warren. Hello, I'm Bloomberg. I represent the American Samoas because I'm an American that loves Samoas. I almost always order Samoas when I go to the Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scouts tried to sell me cookies today, and I like had to look away from them, and I was looking away from them because I didn't want to have to tell them no to cookies.
Were you tempted?
Dude, I wasn't tempted, but it's like I don't like telling the girls no, because I'm a fat guy. They probably expect me to buy cookies. They probably get their hopes up, and I'm like looking away, and then as I'm looking away, I'm like, I hope they don't think I'm awkwardly looking away because I'm like an uncomfortable pedo or something. I just got.
You worry about that way too much.
I don't know, dude. I'm walking through and I'm like, I'm uncomfortably looking away because I don't want to make eye contact because I don't want to have to talk about cookies. I don't want to have to even bring it up that I don't want cookies. And then I'm like, I'm walking awkwardly.
I don't want cookies. I'm not a pedo.
I know. I'm on a diet. That's why I'm not interacting with you at all. I guess a pedo would probably be like, oh, you got cookies,
right?
huh?
So when you do that, it seems kind of weird.
Well, it felt weird.
You're a little too overconscious of that kind of stuff.
I'm overconscious of everything. I overthink literally everything. Point out one time I didn't overthink something. You're a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, because I overthink everything.
Here's so Sanders is leading easily now in delegates.
It's Biden?
Or Biden, sorry. Biden is leading easily in delegates.
Super delegates.
Fuck it.
Went to Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Being so close in Texas kind of sucks. I was hoping Bernie would actually get a nice bump out of Texas, but looks like he's going to go pretty close down the line there.
So, we are probably going to wrap up this stream. I don't think there's going to be a post show tonight. The last few post shows are going to be re-uploaded to the Patreon feed. I think we're going to take some time tonight to collaborate, to recalibrate, and save the date. Save the date. March 15th. March 15th here on this very channel.
I do want to read some of these Streamlabs.
Do
that we
it.
got.
Do it.
Eduardo Garcia.
And send us in your Streamlabs so we can reach it because tomorrow's the last day of this week.
Eduardo Garcia came in and said, this is Sparta to get us to 300. Mighty Five said, Drunken Peasants for President. Why vote politicians and rich people when you can have a sweet, beautiful heft boy and modern, honest cannabis connoisseur who doesn't need a Bible to lead people? Peasants for the USA. Excellent. And also, Mythosella said, longtime fan, much love. And then he asked about what happened to the old host. That was so long ago. Yeah,
you have you been in a coma for the last 2 years?
Yeah, but they are gone, and we are still here doing what we do. So
right.
Thank you for your $20 donation.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, and everybody else who wants to donate. Do it in your sleep. Just do it while we're not live. Just keep donating.
I see Red Eye. Red Eye. All right. Red Eye is someone we should bring in. A unique perspective. Red Eye, are you in the DP Discord?
Red Eye. Is Red Eye a Jedi?
Red Eye is an Australian gentleman.
Aye.
Have you talked to him before?
Maybe. I don't recall.
I notice him. I have a good time talking to him. Yeah, join our Discord. Link in the description. Red Eye, I want your unique perspective before we go off the air. So please join. You know what? All of you right now that are not in the DP Discord, we're going to finish off this show in a very special way. Join the DP Discord and jump in the general voice chat. All of you jump in there. I'm going to bring you all in one by one. Some of you are going to get maybe 10 seconds. Some of you are going to get more.
10 hours.
So I need you all to join the DP Discord, link in the description. And then go into general voice, not guest voice. General voice. I see a few of you in guest voice.
Rhymes with general.
I want to see you all in general voice. General voice. Yeah, I see a few of you building up there. We're going to do this. We're going to run through this. I'm giving you all an opportunity to be heard here tonight. So let's do it. General voice.
Hey, Lenny the Shark said invade Canada, gave us a $10 baller. Grazie,
I love
Lenny.
Canada. I don't want us to invade it because it's perfect the way it is. It's kind of like the America and England had a baby, and it was named Canada.
Canada.
It was a big fat baby that took up a lot of room.
America and
the UK.
The United Kingdom had a baby
named Canada, big chubby baby.
And the baby went to go live with America when they split up.
Right. Big chubby baby too. Can't even contain it. It's so big.
Chubby baby with very little.
Way bigger than both parents. Well, at least wideness.
Thick.
Ooh, look at all these people.
Look at them all.
There's so many of them. I want Red Eye. Join the Discord and jump into general, because I'm bringing you in to stay with us in this whole thing. Your name is Red Eye in there, right?
Red Eye, come on in. Tell me how you're doing. Everybody have a seat in the
Timmy,
DP
how you
Discord.
doing, Timmy? How you been?
Have a
Red
seat.
Eye, why don't you come on in?
With Chris Handsome and BENPAI.
Oh, it's a bad time. All right, Red Eye.
Damn, look at
Red Eye, the fucking diva here.
He's obviously having a fap. Like, don't interrupt that.
All right.
When you watch Joe Biden,
Let me bring on someone I don't recognize. Okay, this person's name is Squid.
What's up, Squid?
Squid.
Boogie 1088 says hi to everybody, by the way.
He does?
He says hi. He says hi.
Can he come in to our Discord?
I don't think he can make it to the Discord right now, but he just says hi.
Well, he's a supreme gentleman.
He is a supreme gentleman.
All right, Squid, if you do not speak up within the next few seconds, your ass is getting kicked the fuck out. Oh, they left voluntarily.
Damn.
All right, let's do this person. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Nothing. Playing Age of Empires. And you're in the stream.
Yeah, you are on our live stream
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
live right now with
You're
us.
playing
I
Age. Go ahead.
No, nothing. I just know. As I said, I noticed that I was live. I can see the thing, my little light.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Sweden.
Sweden. So, like, it's hard to give a shit about what happens in America, right?
Yeah, you mean about the election and stuff? Yeah, I don't really care.
I mean, in some ways, because America is such a large economy, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
It affects the world, right?
Yeah, it does. It totally does. But I don't care.
Yeah. So, well, let me get to the heart of the matter. What do you think about Norwegians?
And no, we have Sweden and Norway always had like pretty good relationship.
Okay.
You know,
What do you think about the
them,
Danish? How about Danish?
I fucking hate the Danish. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I knew I found one. But they're Scandinavian too, right?
Skål!
Yeah,
They are
yeah.
Scandinavian, though. They are. No,
Yeah,
no,
they
no.
are. No, I was saying no because I was joking.
Oh, okay.
I don't hate.
Yeah, because you guys all come from the same people if you go far back enough, right?
Yeah,
Like the
probably.
language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
We can't.
It's interesting.
We can understand Norway pretty easily. Danish is a little bit harder, but you can.
Yeah, it all comes from the same base language
Yeah,
originally.
yeah.
But it's weird because the Finns are up there and their language is totally different.
Yeah, it's super different.
Well, you know, the Finnish language is the same for Estonians and Hungarians. It's weird because those three countries are very far away from each other, but their languages are all from the same root language from one another.
Estonia and Finland are basically right next to each other.
Well, aren't they like across the water from each
Yeah,
other?
but
Or
it's far.
Yeah. Yeah, but that Hungarian language was like the root of all of that language. It's really weird.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat said the Danish are only good at making pastries. Obviously, they had a horrible childhood, never playing with Legos.
And they're drinking beer as well.
Legos are from Denmark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It blew. I always thought Nokia was a Japanese company, and then I realized it was like a Finnish. Are they Finnish?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Creamsicle here.
Hi, Daddy.
I'm a bad dragon.
It's always
Hello,
fun.
Daddy.
Typical joins. Always anyone
Creamsicle,
that guy.
what would you do right now if you had a fully consenting Dragonite at your disposal?
You see, I don't know. Dragonite is like kind of chubby, so I don't know if I'd want him to top me or if I would top him. If it even
I've
was a
seen you
him.
plow some chubsters on your Twitter feed.
Oh my god!
I know they're like my favorite. Chubsters
You know
are
what? The other
absolute
day, I was standing on the other side of the room doing something, and I turn around and Billy's got you in porn on his
Yeah.
screen, and he's like, "Oh God, I've tried to get this off my screen 10
I
times."
kept like clicking out of it and
what a
reopening
liar,
Twitter and
what
it would
a
come back
liar.
up.
Lying,
Okay,
lying.
whatever.
Well, hey,
Why do I have?
You'll absolutely
tabs of
hate to
this?
know. You'll absolutely hate to know that Toasty and I, the chick I filmed with, will absolutely probably be filming something again in July. That's when the convention is. So we're probably going to film more.
Are you into furry porn, Mr.
No.
Swedish guy?
No, I missed.
You should do a porn titled Avocado Toast. And you have Toasty and an avocado, and you cut your hand open while slicing an avocado.
Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm going to bring someone else on, but it was good having you on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome back
Love
anytime,
you.
man. Thank you.
Peace.
All right, let's see. Who do we have? And for those of you who are familiar, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to bring people who aren't quite as familiar.
Those new names.
Yeah, let's see.
We're trying to discover the next big Drunken Peasants fan.
Who's this person?
It's
Ashes
obviously
of
me.
nothing. Ashes of nothing. How can you be an ash of nothing?
Nothing. Ashes of nothing. How can
I
you be
hear
an
myself.
ashes of
You sound just like me, Ashes of nothing.
Hi,
sorry, I'm trying to figure out my
You sound just like me, Ashes of nothing.
Hi, sorry, I'm trying to figure out my
Oh, boy.
Damn,
headphones and stuff. Just skip me, I'm sorry, guys.
Infinite regression.
We'll bring you back in like 48 seconds. Get your shit fixed.
All right, we'll do that.
Damn, she kind of they kind of sounded like Spirit Flame. Dead ass.
It wasn't her, though.
It was obviously
Yeah, I
fake
thought
Spirit.
she like joined the voice chat. I was like, oh shit, when did
Hello.
Spirit come in here?
Oh, nope, they left.
Let's
like-
bring in all the new names that have echoes. Dan D in the place to be. How you doing tonight? That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Silence is golden.
Blinded by the light.
What's up, Dan D? How you doing tonight?
Is he gone?
He was here,
He's sleepy.
and
All
now
right.
he's gone.
He's like sleepy Joe.
Hayes, how you doing?
Oh, hello.
Hello. How
Hello.
you doing?
I'm
Howdy.
pretty good.
Are you a big fan of Totoro?
Yes, I suppose so. I like
Who'd win in a
Studio
fight?
Ghibli.
You like the Studio Ghibli? Who'd win in a fight, Totoro or Snorlax?
Definitely Totoro.
What?
Yeah.
No.
What
He's
sort of
just
skills does Totoro have that would make
He's
him
a
win a fight?
forest spirit, and he can like fly around and stuff.
Okay, flight is pretty savage. He is a forest
I don't know, man. If
spirit.
you ever seen a Snorlax do a body slam, you know that motherfucker flying.
Body slam is big, yeah. He also has earthquake, but earthquake doesn't really hurt somebody who can fly.
Earthquake. Tenta!
Tenta. So, Hayes, how do we pronounce your name?
Hayes.
Okay, good. I got it right. You never know these days, right? I feel like I mispronounce names. Like we couldn't
pronounce it like a white guy.
Ben's had 7 beers and we couldn't pronounce them.
Don't lie.
Okay,
Four.
it's
4 beers.
4, but 4 is the new 7.
No, it's not. 7
no.
beers, you're fucking wasted. 4, you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Is there anything you'd like to talk
See
about?
how he lies about what happens here?
I embellish for entertainment
I don't
factor.
have anything in
Yeah,
particular.
it'll be 7. There's only 6 beers. He's gonna make a 7th beer out of filtered
Pack,
urine.
I can't even have 7 beers, you liar.
It's the joke.
Oh, it's a joke now.
Of course, I could have counted the beer bottles, or I could have just said an indiscriminate number.
Literal
that probably
crickets.
Wow.
I'll never forget that Chris Ray Gun moment.
Yeah, when Ben gets drunk, he thinks of the 7 moments in my life where I was bested by somebody. And he goes back to them like it's his greatest hits. He's like, there were 7 times in the history that I saw Billy the Fridge.
Bill Fridge wasn't funny.
Yeah, 7 times. And he goes back to them every freaking time. Every freaking time.
We need
There
to do
was
that on
7
Cutting the
times
Fat.
when Bill Fridge was proven not funny.
You know, there was the one time that Billy, I don't remember other times I've been bad, but I'm sure there's 1 or 2.
Oh my God.
I'm sure there's 1 or 2, but yeah, the Chris Ray Gun got me that day.
Dude,
Hardcore.
he's on the ball with that kind of shit.
He should be.
He has the best one-liners out of anyone I've ever
He's
heard.
a witty YouTuber. He should have
And
good ones.
the last time Chris Ray Gun was on this show is when he was physically here. Do you remember that?
Was it the last time?
Yeah. Dude, yeah, he flakes out on me every time we like plan like a couple months in advance. He's like, yeah, I'll be on. And then he's like, oh, dude, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Damn, he's probably guest number 2 that I'd actually want to make a live appearance with. Jeff Holiday is obviously.
Jeff Holiday's still number 1?
Yeah, Jeff Holiday will always be number 1 because Chris is like Beyonce, you know. They're super hot, but you know they're never gonna get a chance.
I don't think you're ready
That's
for
just
this
not gonna
jelly.
happen. Jeff Holiday is like the girl next door. You know,
So
pretty
who
hot.
else
You
was
might actually
Chris
have a chance.
in Destiny's Child with then?
Destiny?
Oh no, sorry. That was a boomer joke. Sorry.
Yeah, he knows Beyonce, but not Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
What's a
Oh.
Destiny has a child?
That
I'm
was
so
her
sorry. I'm 22 and I'm oblivious. I apologize.
Beyonce was in a group with 2 other women
this
called
feels-
Destiny's
Oh.
Child.
This is the worst moment of Drunken Peasants history.
That I explained this.
Yes, this is
Oh.
easily
I'm
the
glad
very
that I could
worst
be a part
moment.
of one of the,
I'm gonna
the
bring
second worst
one
moment.
other
the other
in
worst.
with. I'll
The-
bring Ashes of Nothing back in.
Mark
and
it
see if she
down,
got her
ladies and
shit
gentlemen.
figured
8:47 p.m. on the West Coast, March 3rd, 2020. Ben explains Destiny's Child. Seriously.
I don't think you're ready for
on
Destiny.
Drunken Peasants.
I don't think you're ready for Destiny. I don't think you're ready for Destiny. Is my body too
Damn, with
booty
Ashes of
shit?
Nothing and Haze, we have the cutie team in here. We just need
Cutes,
Jeff.
patoots.
I'm just like the king of that.
I'm the
though,
cutie.
right?
No, I'm the cute king.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
We're all
What
in
do you
your
mean, come
harem,
on?
Ben.
Oh my God, this is the worst.
Everyone agrees.
Nope. One in the chat of Billy the Fridge.
We're,
is the
no,
cutest
we're all in
person
the
ever.
cream team. This
Billy
is
the
new
Fridge
cream
is
team.
very uncomfortable with people not feeding his ego. So when he's in an environment where his ego isn't being stroked,
no,
I'm just. Well, I notice his knees open and close twice as fast.
It's because I'm chock full of nutrients and I'm constantly burning calories. That's weird.
He's doing that thigh master.
That's a weird. That's a weird
that's what he
face.
does.
It's a very
Oh,
weird
it's a face you make.
It's not a cute face.
That's what I do too. That's how you get dummy thick. You gotta do that thigh master. Exactly.
Here's a creamsicle egghead told me that he.
Oh god damn it! No.
What do you mean?
Egghead wants me to cuck him.
No. Well, he'd like a little bit of like 69 action, probably.
Don't think I ever said that phrase to you.
I feel like Egghead is the type of guy where if I ever saw his penis, I feel like it would just be George of the fucking Jungle down there.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he doesn't
Like if your
I
penis looks
guarantee
like
that.
anything like your chin, no. Just no.
I never said I wanted to
never
69
said-
him. I said I wanted to do a
Egghead's
half,
like, "That's fake
a half
news."
dozen eggs, 6 dozen egg omelet minus 3 eggs. That's
I
all
want
I
to
said.
know.
All right then.
So
Egghead wants me to crush his head like an egg with my big old thighs.
Egghead.
Yes.
Have you ever had a butt in your face before?
No.
Time to make that change.
I saw your reaction. Like what?
You never had a big old butt in your face?
Have you had a vag in your face, Egghead?
Well, of course that.
Well, of course.
Egghead's like, yeah, I fucking eat pussy like I eat goddamn potato chips, Ben.
He eats potatoes.
You done?
Floor.
You done?
No,
you damn
we're
jerk?
not done.
No,
so if you don't
speaking-
like it, then it's okay to exit the room.
Egghead eats pussy. Egghead eats pussy with the 5-second rule in effect.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's on the floor.
Yeah.
For 5 seconds.
Yeah. Well,
speaking of cunnilingus, I actually did that for the first time in my life. It wasn't actually that bad. Just yeah, no.
Hold on.
because- No,
You've never done it before?
I've tried, but the person I was with didn't wipe very
Hold on,
well.
You're like a libertine, right?
stop.
I'm a libertine?
Yeah.
Stop.
Is that like a libertarian?
You should
No,
never.
libertine's like a very old school polite word for someone who's like a sexual not a deviant,
well, yeah, I mean,
but like
But
someone
but Creamsicle,
Right.
you're a
Oh.
libertine.
right.
For you are a libertine.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah, no,
sure.
I mean, yes, definitely that, but I don't know. Usually, like, if I'm with somebody who has a pussy, they just want me to fuck them. They don't really want me to go down on them.
Benjamin,
Libertine.
I'm not a libertine. I'm a puppertine.
Oh God.
Marquis.
There was that old Johnny Depp video or a movie called The Libertine, where he played a historical figure that was known for kind of like getting into orgies and stuff. But by the end of the movie, like his nose had fallen off and shit because of all the weird.
Syphilitic.
He had gotten all kinds of weird VD by the end of it. Yeah. Well, you know, they didn't have contraception back then.
I have no nose.
There's like a
because-
weird part of the movie where he just like finds these people in the park and is just like, all right, you know? Yeah.
They're humping in the park.
Sounds like a Johnny
He
Depp
joins
film.
in,
Yeah, it's a Johnny Depp film called The Libertine.
and it's directed by Tim Burton.
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't. You know, Ben. Let me put it this way: Have you ever gone down on a femoid who clearly does not wipe?
No.
There you
Because
go.
I'd be like, you should.
Yeah, I know.
like-
You should.
I think
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough. Never to be sexually close with anybody who has a wiping problem. I don't know. I feel like I must be really good at vetting, because they're probably, or you know what, or if I even think that they have a wiping problem, then I don't even go down there with my.
Here
face.
he is. Earl Wilmot, the second Earl of Rochester.
John Wilmot.
This is the guy who played or who Johnny Depp played in like I don't know the real historical figure or anything, but by the end of the movie he doesn't even have a nose anymore. Like his nose fell off.
Jesus.
Just picture him with his pet monkey, though.
Oh,
I mean,
you know
dude,
that
what was he
monkey.
doing with that
You know
monkey?
that monkey did some messed
What was
up
he
stuff.
doing with that monkey?
Well, I'm known
I
for
don't
my
know.
No, he was
orgies.
trying to get chicks, man. No, listen. If a chick sees you got a fucking pet monkey, like they're gonna be a little interested. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you need a pet monkey to get a chick, then you are that monkey guy.
See this?
That monkey was a cuck monkey. He just sat in the corner masturbating. By the age of 33, Rochester was dying from what is usually described as the effects of syphilis, gonorrhea, or other venereal diseases. Combined with the effects of alcoholism, Cal Richards has disputed this, arguing that it is more likely that he died of renal failure due to chronic nephritis, Bright's disease. His mother had him attended in his final weeks by her religious associates, particularly Gilbert Burnett, later Bishop of Salisbury.
Yeah.
He lost his nose.
Yeah.
Salisbury sounds fucking good.
He lost his nose by cutting it off because he was tired of going down on shitty butt women.
Like Shanny for Christ.
So he cut off his own nose to never have to smell the shitty butts while going down.
Dude, have you seen the Shanny porno?
Yes, I've seen the OnlyFans leaks. Holy shit! Like, listen, I like me some chubby chubsters, but
Dude, she replied to me earlier like, "Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Like some weird Shanny
she
shit.
replied to me like, "You wanna eat my ass now, drunken peasants?"
Yeah.
I'm just like, no thanks, dog. I've seen the preview. I don't want the full meal, dog.
Hello, other people. How are you?
Hello.
I heard that.
Hello.
Who the
other
fuck
people.
was that other guy in the video? Was that her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this works.
It works.
Well,
we can hear
You're
you.
here.
It was just so funny to see like such a tiny man in comparison to like a fucking gargantuan of a woman. It's like, how do you proportionally?
How do
It's
you?
just that was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, how do you fuck that and just not get like sucked into her mass, like by her fucking gravitational pull? Yes, a leviathan of a like I
Leviathan.
God. I think if you put your whole arm in there, you'd have some breathing room. Like, Jesus.
It's quite obvious you don't understand the sloppiness of a big woman. There's not a lot of room because the fat pushes it inward.
You know what, Billy? I can honestly say that I might have eaten some pissy pussy, but I've never been with a woman that big.
You tell me those girls you with have loose bajajs. They don't.
Joe is in the Joe, please join jump into the general room.
She's pretty.
So I can bring you in.
She's pretty.
Hey
I
Billy,
see you in the
checked out
general chat.
Shakewell yet?
Shakewell?
Shakewell?
Shakewell. Oh yeah, I watched some. It was really good.
Oh hell yeah, that's awesome.
I watched Fat Nick today. He had a new video where he's cutting into a cake with some Pokemon cards on his table.
Cards.
Oh, really? When did that come out? Today?
Today? I saw it on the timeline, so I don't. It probably came out recently.
Any shiny Charizards?
I didn't see a Charizard. I thought I saw like an Onyx or something. I couldn't make out the actual card. I got banned from the chat for mentioning the cat pee.
He said it's Seth. Seth is using Joe's channel to comment.
Yeah.
How dare he?
Joe doesn't know how to use the internet, so Seth has to.
You gotta cock tease me with Joe like that.
What does that mean?
It means I wanted to talk to him, damn it. I want to say hi.
Yeah.
Why?
Someone has a crush.
No.
It's just a little crush.
No, I got a girlfriend. Me and them actually have our own apartment together.
So you wouldn't let Joe come in to bang both of you?
Probably not.
I mean, there's got to be an exception, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, there is an exception. Her name is Toasty.
Toasty.
So
Yeah,
if he
Toasty
wears
has a
a dress
girl.
and names himself Toasty, you're good.
Nah.
Whoopsie.
You know, Billy, I'm curious. Would you consider Toasty a big woman? You've obviously seen my work, my
Is
productions.
that the one in the video that comes up on my Twitter feed?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one
I mean-
he just comes up automatically that he doesn't.
Yeah,
pull
the
up.
one. That's
It did. It
pinned to
was
my
in the
profile.
Twitter feed, and I just kept clicking
yeah.
away, and it kept going back to it.
Oh, dude, we got TJ Fox things in the chat. TJ Fox things.
Who is that?
Come in to the Discord into the general chat, and I'll bring you in if you want to talk.
General
Live.
chat.
DJ Fox,
General
do
chat.
it,
Do
please. Please come in. It's discord.gg/dp. Please.
GG.
It's a grand time, I promise.
And
It's
there
a
goes
gay
Texas.
old time. Who got Texas?
Biden's in the lead.
Oh, really?
Here he is.
Well, I'm gonna hop
All
off
right, I
now,
got him
but-
in. Hey, how's it going?
no.
I'm on a Drunken Peasant stream.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Wow, it's been a while, and
Yeah.
things have certainly changed.
First
Yeah.
me, now you.
He
We're
sounds
getting-
like
we're
a
getting all the
grown
old
man
legends.
now. That's the biggest difference.
Well, I'm turning 21 by the end of this month. So that gives you.
Nice.
Yeah. No. This is a weird time. I was about to get I just ordered today for tomorrow a new mic and a webcam. Which
Cool.
yeah, I mean, but anyways, fuck what was I'm high, but
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only way
So-
you can appear on the Drunken Peasants.
Well, of course. So
Speaking. Oh,
are
go
we
ahead, buddy.
watching? Are we watching Super Tuesday? That's what's going on?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we've been looking into it left and right.
Should we check in really quick
yeah,
on it?
Yeah, Well, so are you still like a full-on communist?
Oh, yeah.
Clancy?
Communist.
I would
What's
say,
that
well,
Texas looking like?
I would go even further. I would call myself a Marxist accelerationist. So I'm not a Bernie. I'm actually an opponent of to Sanders because fundamentally, I want to accelerate capitalism until it just collapses, and then a revolution would occur.
So
to,
who are you behind?
Yang
hard
looked
to
like
say.
the accelerationist candidate, but Trump's probably just going to preserve the current order.
What about
Bernie?
Bloomberg, though? He's one of the richest men on earth.
Oh yeah, Bloomberg probably would be the accelerationist candidate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bernie Sanders leads in Texas, they say, with 50 reporting.
Do you like Vosh,
I mean,
Clancy?
No,
Do
fuck
you like
Vosh. I do not like Vosh. No.
Okay.
I definitely don't like Vosh. I'm working on a video against all of RedTube. Actually, all the left in general.
We're gonna have a show where our two guests are Vosh and Ethan Ralph from the Ralph Retort on the same show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's going to be so hard
Which
for me to
episode?
choose who to pander to that episode.
It's got to be Vosh. Have you seen his hair? He's a cutie.
Oh my God.
Are you telling me you don't think that gentleman is handsome?
I'm not gay.
Well,
I don't. You don't have to be. You don't have to want to suck his balls. You just got to say,
Whoa.
yeah, he's a pretty handsome looking dude.
I mean, he's not. I mean, he's all right. I don't know.
Ben, just say it. You want to make
gotta-
babies with him.
I want to fuck Vosh.
I want to
No,
make
then-
babies.
You know what though? He lives around here, so we might have him like in studio
You
one
might,
of these times.
you might have
That
a
would
little
be-
Please,
set.
please do.
That would be-
awesome.
That would be
I
very
love
funny.
him.
Yeah. Do you know we have a
Been watching
Lenin
you all since
statue?
episode 1 and my freshman
I do.
year
Yeah.
of college, and
I
this
do.
semester will be my final
And
year
they
of
paint
my
his hands
master's
red
degree.
every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah, I
Thank
know,
you
I know.
for being the
A bunch
best
of liberals
background
go
noise
paint
for
his
homework.
hands red.
Love you.
It's not just
Literally.
liberals though. It's right wingers too.
Love you too, Plum.
Yeah, but well, they do it in a very liberal way though. That's, I mean, you think
Right.
like right wingers would do some standard maybe like even Wignat shit, and then just like go like, oh, the Grillians.
They
and
treat
Jews,
him as
maybe.
they treat him as if he's equal to Stalin, though. They don't understand the historical difference between the two. You know,
Yeah.
like Lenin had a stroke and was physically unable to continue to be the leader of the new Soviet Union. So Stalin just kind of like seized power in his weakened state.
He was voted by the Central Committee. I think even Trotsky voted to allow him to be General Secretary. But the thing is, General Secretary wasn't really it wasn't like a great leader position. It was just General Secretary was the person in charge of the entire party and membership and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But through manipulating the bureaucracy, he sort of just consolidated power like that. Which is something people don't understand about like Marxist-Leninist states, is there's no like president role. It's just there's members of the central committee of the party, and the leader can be of any role so long as they somehow cement the bureaucracy to support.
So, out of all the countries in human history that have implemented communism, which one would you say got it the most right?
Definitely the Soviet Union. I mean, they were the closest to socialism. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're the closest to communism.
Would you say
were
they
socialist.
lost their
I'm
way?
not-
Would you say over time they lost their way, though, or was it?
Yeah, with Khrushchev, a lot of
Testing 1, 2.
Marxist-Leninists like to overplay the impact that Khrushchev's reforms had. Some of them are really ridiculous. I think, like, after 1953, Stalin died, USSR just turned into a capitalist state, like just revisionist overnight. You know, there's foolish MLs like that, but generally, the reforms started with Khrushchev's de-Stalinization policies. And I mean, the idea of de-Stalinization, I definitely would have advocated for that, but for more of like a return to like some of the radical a return to the radical and
Testing 1, 2.
He's getting called out by some females in his general vicinity. Clancy, shut the fuck up!
It happens.
Wow.
What up,
True
homie?
nostalgia.
Yeah. Dude, was that your mom yelling at you? Be honest.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh.
Dude, that used to happen. And that's why we call him Clancy.
Homer, you need to get home. You need to stop getting on the computer.
Look, I'm all for anarchy through the fall of capitalism if my mom would just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
You should
to be
make
fair,
videos.
I am an econ student, so I'm not I'm not entirely some guy in a, you know.
Can you make Billy fucks things videos, please?
What do I fuck?
Everything.
Billy fuck Shanny for Christ.
There's not enough of a cult of personality.
You're out the drawing and
even the most
side of it.
Thank you.
The material conditions are not present for a Billy fucks things.
Thank you.
He does fuck things, though.
It's not true. I'm a sweet.
I'm sure.
I mean, he doesn't fuck cats, unlike Shane Dawson.
I'm saving myself for. I was saving myself for marriage, but I think I'm going to save myself for
marriage
my
to a
funeral.
cat.
My funeral. Forget my wedding
Creationist
day.
cat. Y'all got
How y'all
pwned.
doing?
Good mutiny. Good mutiny. Yeah, we're good. Well, can you make at least one Ben fucks things video? Like what? I mean, like, come on, man.
Ben fucks Shanny.
No.
There we go.
No.
Stop.
I was hoping it was an inanimate object.
Make a video, but not that one.
Maybe.
Yeah, man, you
I'll put
weren't me on top, Ben.
a 5 seconds. I'll put a 5 seconds.
5 seconds? Give me more credit than that. I last at least 20 seconds.
You're gonna make me come, or I'm gonna kick your.
I'll settle on 6 seconds.
Although
6
Shandy's
seconds.
ass is pretty big, you might take a little less time.
Clancy, I remember the one video you made. You used Rucka Ali's music, and
Yeah.
Rucka Ali refuses to share a platform with me.
Really?
Yeah, because Maddox.
Good.
Because Maddox told everyone I doxed him.
Because Rucka and I are starting a podcast.
You wanna fuck my ass, Benjamin?
Called Rappers That Say Stupid Stuff.
Rappers that hang out with Maddox. Sure to be a hit.
Yes.
Hey guys, stop lying about me in the chat. I last 10.5 seconds, all right?
I last forever with my virginity.
I'm just gonna bring everyone in and see what happens.
Hey, y'all
Let's
hear
literally
that?
bring
be a
everyone
shit
in
show.
all at the same time.
Oh.
This is gonna be a shit
Good morning,
show.
Faith, guys.
Hello.
Can we get back to the argument about baby Chiefs?
Fuck you guys. You're not special.
You have no idea what you've
I'm
done.
you
You're
all
not
know.
about shape.
The universe is
This is
fourth
hell.
dimensional, and we exist on the three-dimensional surface area of that four-dimensional universe.
fucking utter dunce. The world is made of circles.
we're all talking
World
about
is spherical.
9/11, but why don't we talk about 3/11?
That is a good reference to a not outdated show.
Well, we all know the history 11, but we shouldn't.
Amber is the color of your energy.
Does Buttigieg have 26
baby
delegates?
Jesus
Whoa, what the?
Tiny fingers into the
Buttigieg
Buttigieg
does have
region.
26 delegates, and
They
Bloomberg
keep
is
them. Yeah,
almost
hold on. All right, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
That was.
Everyone, tell me, like, what happens to the people who won delegates that drop out later?
I think they get reassigned, but I don't know if it's in the first round or the second round.
They die.
That could be the
Let's
Nell.
go back to talking about shapes.
Oh god.
I like shapes.
I want bird.
Circles
Shapes
or
is pretty good.
squares.
Hey, listen, I'm a circle, and I can tell you right now.
Bitch, we were talking about rectangles.
Rectangles are
No. We were talking about parallelograms and how a parallelogram is just two triangles.
No, we were talking about how the Mormons are
Burn your
stupid as
bus.
fuck.
We're talking about
Triangles are the root of all evil. Anything that uses triangles is despicable. Our
What is that?
triangles.
Is that?
You know, guys, I had
Billy.
I had the vigilant Christian Mario promising me an interview when he gets out of rehab.
Yeah.
So-
Would you have to trade that?
Hey,
for
that's
some
pretty
coke and
cool.
a blowjob?
That's going to be so awesome.
Real quick,
Billy,
I know
you make
we
my
make
boy
fun of
more.
Mario, but I
I love
generally
how
do
everyone
feel bad
talks
for the poor
together.
guy.
This is cute.
Maybe this is why we
This
don't
guy that
have
shut
live
the
shows
door
of just
about that,
everybody in the Discord.
Well,
right?
that's what I knew when I bring like it's cool like one or two at a time, but then like when I bring in everyone, it's just disaster. I love you guys are great though. Hey, everyone, just you know what? Let's let the people who are watching right now hear it all. Everyone, just all talk at the same time about whatever you want to talk about. Go.
I refuse to talk at the same time as all these people. I'll have you know.
Okay, all right.
Jump out.
All right, yeah, I got it. Oh,
I'm going
wow.
to go back and say Ben had 7 beers. Even if there's not 7 beers in a 6-pack, this is 7 beer action from Ben. This is 7 beer. This is how 7 beers runs the show.
Dude, I thought that was great.
I suppose when you have 7 beers, it's awesome.
Guys, make sure you get the last word. That person wins the whole argument.
Billy,
No, they
he
don't.
makes my
Word.
boy hole noise.
Word.
Who here
I just
likes
made
Boy pussy.
who here likes Tim Pool?
No one
Yeah.
take. I don't.
He's Dave Rubin, but less obvious about his fucking conservative slide.
Isn't he the
Dave
one
Rubin-
that reviews video games?
Tim
Like
Pool
Tim
used to be
Shafer.
cool.
I
like
met
Tim Pool.
IRL. I met IRL, a person who met Dave Rubin IRL.
Yeah, Teddy Ruxpin in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Real quick,
so did Joe take it home?
Take what home?
Joe has been fucking
Coronavirus?
Biden, my boy, he's winning. No, I'm kidding. He's not winning.
Biden, my boy.
Guys, I have an announcement. We're having bear for
Right?
dinner.
If people were rooting for Joe Biden, this would all be good news, right?
Oh yeah, totally. This would be like the best.
Oh shit.
Biden is.
Well, we need to wait for California to come in because if Bernie can make up the 100 delegate deficit in California, he'll probably still lose the nomination, but he'll be tied at the end of it.
It says
But
Bernie's
he's
212
like
to 240.
to Obama's Batman.
I really don't understand.
Bernie is
how
the
Biden
Robin to
is
Obama.
so
Oh, you mean Biden?
popular.
Biden is the
Damn,
Robin
Bernie.
to Obama's Batman, right?
I have
Bernie
some
has been
lightning
losing
news for all
hard.
Country led by
Holy
fucking Robin.
shit.
I'd rather have
three
the
most
Joker take
popular candidates in this race are the 3 with the most name recognition. A former
So,
vice president, Hillary's sole opposition, and fucking Bloomberg, the guy who spent the most money on ads.
Clancy, the
Warren still has a
coronavirus. The coronavirus is picking up here in America. Should Canada close the borders and not let Americans in to spread coronavirus?
As a Canadian, I say yes.
I think Canada should
Build
put
a wall.
landmines on the border and
Canadians
put
need
like
to build a
machine
wall.
guns and stuff and cut trade with the U.S. But
Dude,
yeah, maybe.
I
I
can't
think Canada
wait.
should
I would
use
say
the
so.
United States.
I can't
just
wait
let-
until the coronavirus
cases of
hits us.
coronavirus in it.
All right, I gotta thin this out. God. I
Everybody
feel
back
bad
on screen.
kicking anyone out of here now that
My
everyone's
eyes.
here.
You can do it.
We could just
Hey,
call it a
that's
night.
Crazy, man. This is crazy.
Real quick, y'all hear
And it
that
was
Flavor Flav got fired from Public Enemy?
Yeah, Lenny the Sharks of California is
Did
so
you
good.
hear
Why
that
didn't
no
they
one
make
cared?
California 2? Yeah, Flavor Flav got kicked because he was complaining about Bernie using Fight the Power.
Really?
Yeah, and then
And
Chuck
Chuck
D
D.
was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Chuck D owns it all then.
We
That
kicked Flavor Flav out of the group.
Yeah, like he must own like the intellectual property then.
Hasn't he
I
been in
mean,
that group for
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the founding members.
Yeah, he was like the hype man.
Flavor, yeah, because like he was the loud guy that like yelled shit out, and Chuck D was the actual lyricist. Chuck D was the talent. I mean,
Boy.
100%.
You know, one way to piss off Flavor Flav is to mention his appearance on the Eric Andre show. He got so pissed
Oh
on
yeah, I
there.
heard about
Oh
that.
man. Oh yeah.
Like he was,
I just remember
he
when
was
he
posting
dated.
on Twitter.
I remember when he dated Bridget Nielsen.
Oh God.
You know the like 6'1" blonde. She used to be married to Sylvester Stallone. She was in Rocky IV.
She used to be hot before all the surgery.
Sure. I mean, like, yeah. Look, I mean, Sylvester Stallone was married to her. She was like 3 inches taller than him.
Oh, she's probably taller than that. So
Yeah,
Stallone's
yeah.
not that tall.
I heard he's really small,
Ew.
and I heard that like when him and Hogan did their scene in Rocky 3, he told Hogan to hit him as hard as he could, which like 25-year-old Hulk Hogan, all roided up, is going to hit you really fucking hard.
They say
Damn near
Stallone's
kill you.
5'10".
I don't believe that. I would say 7, 5,
I
7.
mean, they say Billy's 6'2". I don't believe that either.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
look at
but how hard-
IMDb.
I mean, yeah.
There,
it's
though,
also-
Stallone
Well,
has
Billy's
scored
just a
a
sweet
lot of
boy.
ratings in those
Thank you.
Rocky movies.
Oh, so Brigitte Nielsen also fucked Arnold Schwarzenegger. So Arnold, Stallone, and Flavor Flav.
She was Red
boy.
Sonja.
How do you go from Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, to fucking Flavor Flav? Like, come on.
That
You
I
go
mean,
Arnold-
like
okay,
Arnold.
so-
She had Arnold
Arnold-
Schwarzenegger and Stallone in the '80s, and she had Flavor Flav in the early 2000s.
The young 2000s.
That's how you go. They were on a reality show of washed-up celebrities together.
Yeah.
Well, that
No,
makes
it's
sense.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Although I'm sure she bangs plenty of like European guys who own jets in that time period. You know, maybe people
I
who
love
aren't,
Teddy
we aren't
Rubskin.
familiar with.
Teddy Rubskin is basically
Hey, yo.
like when I go to his channel, it's the nostalgia cast. He plays nothing but yes. Hear him laughing. I know
Funny
what's
thing
up.
about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the
I
UK,
remember back in the day, me
neighbor-
and Teddy Rubskin were like Facebook friends before his like sock Facebook account got banned because like he was trying to have like a Teddy Rubskin Facebook. Not well, yeah, yeah. You and me were buddies, and we used to talk on Facebook back in the day. And then your Facebook got yeeted back in the day.
Got
Right.
decimated.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy Rubskin, old school.
Old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did you guys see Chris Matthews quit live on MSNBC?
He was forced to resign after he got well, basically 3 things happened, I think. He
Me
called
too.
Bernie a Nazi, I think, and then he got accused of sexual harassment, I think.
Oh.
Get fucked
I
then.
identify like
Base.
I identify with Clancy a lot here because when I was late teens, early 20s, I was like a Maoist communist. I almost got kicked out of my high school because of it. Because I went to a Catholic high school. I was
Yeah,
like
so did I.
passing
So did
out. I was passing out communist propaganda in school, like a Catholic school, and you know, like if public school is one thing, but when you go to a religious school and you're like advocating for abolishment of religion, they really don't like that.
I could not see you.
luckily,
Hold on, everyone let Clancy talk.
luckily, because of this goes back to like the Quebec Act, which is like in the 1700s. It was 1764. So we have a separate school system. One's public, one's Catholic. Originally, the public one was Anglican.
So was it
So they
because like
secularized it.
because French people are like overly Catholic, like Quebec didn't have a separate? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
and,
what's the name of the law that allows Quebec to try to secede every so often?
I honestly don't know. I mean, we occasionally there'll be if like the Bloc Québécois gets enough influence, they can they'll hold like a.
I think the last time that happened, I was still in high school. I remember I went to see a stand-up comedy show around the time, and they made a joke. They were like, "Yeah, did you hear Quebec? They want to secede from Canada and become a new country. You know how that affects us here in America? More shitty coins to dig through." Yeah, because we always get like Canadian change. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think it was in '95.
Well, in the
Yeah,
last
95 or
election in
85.
Canada, like the Quebec Independence Party actually got quite a
Bloc?
big of a
Yeah.
boost.
They did.
Like they're like the third largest party in Parliament in Canada right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my early adult years like vacationing in Canada. Like I'd go up to Toronto and spend like a whole summer up there. Basically living in a hostel. Like there was a hostel in Toronto that I would work at / live in, and then if I could make enough money, I'd get like a better place but still work at the hostel. And like everyone I knew there was like that. We were all like trying to stay there and live in Toronto for like a certain amount of time. And it was kind of weird. But yeah, I always liked Canada better. Maybe not so much now.
Trying to get your citizenship in Canada if you're there long enough.
I mean, like, citizenship for Americans is really hard there. Like, they'll give a Bosnian citizenship before they'll give an American. They like our
Right, 'cause
tourism.
They know.
Well, I mean, like,
Is Billy falling asleep?
Well, they don't want to let large numbers of us in there. You know, they don't want to do that. We're there, Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
just
oh,
let
they
us
have
in.
their drug
Actually-
dealers and stuff.
They just let us in. We'd colonize them in an instant.
Why would you want to live there anyway?
I mean, on the other hand,
Why
I've
are
heard
you
Americans call us snow Mexicans. So
Whoa!
Let's refresh the results on the
Snow
That's a little
inform.
That guy was Canadian.
We are
Yeah, he
Mexicans
was. That's why I said
compared
that.
to the fucking.
The Métis are technically the snow Mexicans.
Snow monkeys.
What does
Whoa.
what does California look like and Texas?
There's
Like a
um,
2%.
there's,
They just pushed
there's
Texas to
33
soft Biden
delegates.
now. That's not good.
Bernie has 33 delegates in California. Michael Bloomberg's in second place with 2, and Biden's in third with 1.
They're giving California to
California?
Bernie, but Biden's getting Texas right now.
The biggest question is if Bernie can win
off.
California by enough votes to basically neutralize all the Biden wins tonight.
Who is Biden's
I
base?
sure hope so.
Like, I don't understand how anyone can fucking support that creep.
I'm telling you, man, it's because
Because
I feel like people who are politically involved tend to overestimate the political knowledge of the regular voter. I
It's
think
old
most people vote based
Also,
on most
socialism.
people. Yeah, the majority of voters are over 45,
Yeah.
and it's not to say they're completely uninformed, but name recognition usually is the biggest thing.
and I
And
think
Biden has
it's
the
also
most name recognition, and not to mention he also appeals mostly to them in terms of policy because he's running on Obama's legacy.
They just look
Well,
at what's on the front page of CNN and they see the DNC going at Bernie and they're like, "Oh, evil socialist!"
That is also
and they
part of it,
everyone
yeah.
do it.
I think
it's also
America.
just easy to push Biden. It's just
Dude.
easy to push.
This,
Listen, guys, this is
I
actually a
don't
good
know.
thing.
I don't think it's
because
gonna go
the
over.
debates with Biden versus Trump will be the greatest debates in American history. I'm telling you, they'll be the
Need
most
a funny-
meme-worthy debates ever.
It's going to be like an edgelord punching a Bobo clown. What is
Biden versus Trump would be interesting because Biden is.
Let me tell you about
I'd like to
crazy.
take you behind the gym.
Most people,
Yeah.
most
I'll
people
take
are
him behind the
politically
gym
retarded.
and suck
And by
his
the way,
penis.
like, if you got
Listen,
a
I'm here,
that's
yeah,
cool. I'm
dog
gonna stay here.
soldier.
You're gonna kick it for
I'm
a
gonna
while.
gut punch you
probably.
behind the McDonald's.
The United States is essentially so cucked by bourgeois ideological hegemony that like any mention of
You
the
like
word
that?
socialist.
That's our original troll. That guy
We're-
talking right there was like our first troll on
It's
this
so
show.
cucked by bourgeois.
Oh my God.
What was it?
I
I'm gonna go pee really quick before you leave. You watch that.
Hegemony.
The
I was like,
Overton window is
that's
pretty
a-
far right.
Okay, basically bourgeois ideology is so pervasive within the American public that any mention of socialism, even if they preface it with
Listen,
democratic socialism, and
what's
only
the
talk
expression?
about
What's the expression? There are no poor people in America. Only millionaires who have fallen on hard times.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Dude, this guy I'm fucking.
Wait,
he-
what the fuck does bourgeois mean?
It's the upper class. It's a Marxist term.
It's not necessarily
the upper
Marxist.
class. It's not the upper class. It's the creation of the middle class that.
Okay, it's a term of classical political economy.
It's the middle class that.
It
Jesus
refers,
Christ.
it refers to proper.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is. It refers.
The bourgeoisie are the property
bye,
owners, right?
Billy.
Proletariat are the work.
They're the people who own the means of production, and they don't do the actual work themselves. They just have everything that the workers need to be able to do things and live.
Right. Or if they do any work themselves,
Yeah,
it's their reward, their economic reward is disproportionate to.
Well,
They're managers, they're debtors. They just
The
control
bourgeoisie are those who own the means of production and earn profit through the exploitation of labor in production. The bourgeoisie, before the liberal revolutions, were the middle class. The aristocracy, the landed aristocracy, was the ruling class. After the liberal revolutions,
You're boring
the
Billy to death.
bourgeoisie. The bourgeoisie.
Yeah, look at Billy's face. Jesus,
Did Billy die of boredom?
Oh, Billy.
Big.
Oh my
Just
God.
defining
Rick,
bourgeois
Billy.
is exactly.
Yo, let's talk about art.
Let's make
he's
poop
asleep.
jokes to get Billy to wake up.
Can you explain to me what bourgeois means using only wrestling analogies?
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Big fat.
It's McMahon.
Wow,
the McMahon
two
family are the
words.
bourgeois.
Ric Flair.
No, McMahon is not bourgeois. The Ric Flair is bourgeois.
No,
I mean,
they are the bourgeois.
McMahon gets dirty.
McMahon is the
Kayfabe.
bourgeois man. He owns the
McMahon
means
is
of
not bourgeois. He's the proletariat.
He's buddies
Wait,
with the
no.
president.
He's not the proletariat.
$1 million man.
He's the fucking. He's McMahon is like the 1%, right? The bourgeois are the ones that are trying to obtain that upper class. They're living out of their means. They're looking like they're the upper middle class, the middle class that try and buy into a system that they probably will never achieve, but they work towards it through they're trying to be keeping up with the Joneses' classiness. The bourgeois, like they're the fucking. It's the rap culture, the shiny diamonds when you probably shouldn't be buying diamonds, you should be buying property or something. You're walking around high flying, jet stealing, all that bullshit. That's Ric Flair. He's bourgeois.
There's a
Right.
wrinkle. There's a
But you
wrinkle
gotta
in
have
egos.
some money. It's a rented mansion, but I couldn't rent a mansion and hire some porn stars, right? Somebody's
could.
got to be able to do that, and that's a certain level of success.
Hey,
But, you know,
you
sure,
find
it's a
that the
rented
problem-
mansion, but
while
he
you're
rented
renting
it.
the
You know,
mansion.
it's pretty good.
You got it. The problem there, Teddy. That's the problem. Not everyone can rent their mansion full of Playboy bunnies. That is what the class struggle is all about. Only Ric Flair can, and it's
Right,
wrong.
right. But I mean, but then there's other people who can own the mansion full of hookers, right?
And
then you know,
hookers, just the owner. Everyone deserves hookers, Teddy.
Question:
Reroute communism
Do you
for
kill the
hooker
hooker
What do the
afterwards?
hookers
No,
want?
that's,
For me,
that's
what
What do
exact
the
opposite.
hookers
For
want?
me,
Listen,
One at
I
a
have a bold
time.
new
One at a
proposition.
All right, you
time.
guys have a good night.
Good night, Billy.
Bye.
Billy's leaving. You guys made him leave. I hope you're happy with
Young
yourself.
Bill Fridge.
I'm gonna stay here and moderate this, but I need people to like let each other talk. I realize it's hard, and there's like a delay and everything. So we're gonna try everyone to like get together, and we're gonna, we're all gonna talk. Good night, Billy.
I have a question, but like, I want to wait for
Night,
everyone else
Billy.
to think.
Discord
Young
stick
Bill
first, then.
Fridge.
Good night, Billy.
So, who
love
had
you.
a
Night,
point they wanted to
Billy.
make? Who had a point they wanted to make?
I think I was saying
nobody.
I think
Billy explained the.
I have a really good point. There's 400 people watching.
Uh-huh.
That's true. There are 400 people watching.
There's only like
Can you
200.
See, my point was somebody said that everybody deserves a hooker in a mansion, but like, what are the hookers?
Listen, we need universal basic sex, UBS. It's a revolutionary policy.
What do the
It's
hookers?
the foundation.
This is how we get the incel vote, guys. This is how we get the incel vote.
We tackle incels by giving them universal access to sex.
Precisely.
This is basically what BreadTube wants.
Bernie Sanders has been going,
UBI
the top 1% of income earners. Well, what about the top 1% of sex owners? Women. Come on, guys. Get with
Exactly.
50% of
That's
the
what I'm worried
population.
about. The hookers themselves.
Listen, guys, the UBI. Listen, Yang's UBI could be used to buy pussy. You just legalize prostitution, and then incels solve themselves.
Yeah. Okay, slightly serious though. Is the incel vote even a thing? I don't think incels.
No,
are,
I don't think incels vote because the second they turn 18, they realize, oh yeah, I'm not a total fucking cunt if I can just be a normal person.
They're too
Some of them
playing
cannot make it
World
past
of Warcraft, like me.
I think that's
Yeah, but
a
like,
demographic.
I think if you're a legitimate incel, I feel like you don't even have the self motivation to even register to vote, to go to the polls, to like do this basic function of society.
I'd say
Also,
because
do you
they're
want
so
people like Jerry
self-motivated.
Dennison to vote,
Like,
really?
MGTOWs, then maybe they can vote, but not incels. MGTOWs probably do have a voter base.
I mean, I think you know what it is?
hold on,
MGTOWs turn out to only vote against female candidates.
Hold on.
Of
A
course.
MGTOW is like an okay.
A MGTOW is like
saying,
a Chad who doesn't.
Well,
like
hold on.
Men
Me saying
going their own way.
Ideal.
Me saying I'm not fat, I'm big
Let Ben
boned
talk.
is like me saying I'm not fat, I'm big boned is like an incel saying they're a MGTOW, right?
Have you ever seen a big bone
yeah,
It is. It's trying to lessen the reality.
They're just
Right.
trying to live in a delusion.
Like Jerry